I don't care if you've been finding brand new waifus on Street Fighter 6 all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Back of the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me out, fam, with all the dankest of dank shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Hi, I'm Old Ninja, and welcome to Geek Speak on Fleek.
On my far right, engineer on the ones and twos, choke me out of the previous plus Chronos.
Hey, this dankness ain't got no death ceiling. I'm just saying, it just keeps going and going. Fucking infinite, y'all.
Mm-mm. We back up in here.
That we
Blue's
are.
got the Blue's got the herpes villa lingus, blah 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 blah. So he won't be with us, but we got all kind of goodness for y'all. All right, let's kick it off. Goddamn it! What kind of stats are you bringing?
For
Analysis,
the
something.
most important stat of this week would be 8 years ago, yesterday, is when we first recorded our first episode of Black and Black Times Infinity.
There
And
you
as
go.
Old Ninja gave you a throwback on what the podcast might have been called, you can thank Cronus, me, that we didn't call it that because that would not have aged well.
Nope,
Would not have
for
aged
Would
sure.
have
well.
been a throwback.
Yeah.
Throwback to badness.
Maybe I'll drop the first episode as like a you know a rewind. It was kind of terrible, but especially the audio quality was terrible. But
Yeah, but what we talked about then was definitely way different.
yeah,
It's funny. It's funny because we probably would have been forced to change the name midway through.
oh yeah, because nobody says fleek anymore. Nobody says fleek
Nope.
anymore.
Uh-uh.
If you say
Somebody,
fleek, you think that you, it automatically ages you.
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
somebody thought it was really cool to say, "Oh, we would have been hip and cool." It's like, dude, that was just the word of the week at the time.
It really was. It was old, probably 8 years ago.
And
That word was to quote another phrase from back in the day. That was weekend pussy.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
damn! God
You just hit
dang
it a
it!
couple
Mm-mm.
times and it's got to go
Got to
back to
Yep.
the
go.
streets. Oh, y'all know
Yeah,
about some liquid death right here.
dude, what's
Ain't that that's
I see
water?
it everywhere. I heard water in a can. I'm like, well, how good does it have? Like crack in it or some
This
shit?
one's
Like,
flavored, but honestly, it's just the marketing's really good, like the artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
The hold on, give me a sec.
I mean, I know Joanna Angel is like a spokesperson for that, and I'm like, well, if you know who she is,
They,
you're probably definitely drinking
it's
that.
just good marketing. So like this one especially, it's they got the Metallica one, so
Mm-hmm.
was pretty cool artwork, and this one's actually watermelon or just melon flavored, because you know.
Everybody, everybody and their mamas thought that shit was beer or fucking
I
some kind
still,
of alcoholic beverage when they
it
Yeah,
first
looks,
saw that
it,
shit.
it looks like it, but
it is pretty
everyone's all
good though.
talking about. So there's a lot of porn stars that drink it. So I'm like, well, they say it's water, but they're drinking it like it's fucking White Claw or some
Yeah, no,
shit.
it's just. I mean, I added vodka into this, but yes, it's just water. It's pretty. We are not
Ah,
sponsored by Liquid Death, but also if you want to sponsor us, I mean, fuck it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like the water is it's good. You know, it's just it's better than Lacroix. So, but it's
mm.
basically it's just
Oh yeah.
sparkling water. So
Oh, bubbly's better
I didn't,
than Troy. Not a big
I
fan.
didn't even know it was sparkling. I just thought it was fucking regular ass fucking water
they might
in a
have
can.
flat. I'm gonna be fancy here. They might have flat water. I don't know. I've always had
Mm.
just the sparkling one. But like I said, it's basically all their marketing is just the shit. Their water isn't like blow your tits off, but you know it doesn't taste bad. So and I
Mm-hmm.
like all their designs. Their designs are cool, so I'm gonna buy it off of the designs alone.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Good shit. Good shit.
normal statistics. First in the chat would be my boy Steve, followed very closely by my boy Papa Bear. So
Ooh.
that's all. There's XOR X0R Zor in the chat and Rescue Residence. They're
There you
both
go.
first to chat, and listener of the week would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
God damn.
There
That's
you
my
go.
favorite part.
Yeah. Oh,
All right. Old Ninja, what type of alcoholic beverage are you pouring out and for whom should it?
None this week because there was one that I found out like an hour before the podcast, so I didn't have time to prepare. So I'm gonna have to catch them next week.
Is it like not confirmed what you just found out, or
No,
is
it's
that why you?
confirmed, but it was just late
Well,
'cause
then
I usually do my RIPs earlier in the day, do a little prep work, and try to do an amalgam eulogy, pouring
well,
out shit. But
well, goddamn. Now I'm all fucking curious and shit. Who the fuck is it?
Who died today?
He was like
Big
a
one.
B. No, he was a B-list actor.
Uh,
He's pretty up there in age. He was like 79. So
All right, so we'll save it for next week. Then.
yeah, I'll say for
Yeah.
next week. I even like don't have his name up either. But yeah.
all right. Last
Okay.
week we talked about a shitload of games, and this week
Mm,
we're gonna talk about some games. So give me one
yes, yes.
second. So I can set something up. So I want to talk to Prodigy about his thoughts on um, the Metal Gear Solid remakes. So what did you think when you first heard about that?
So very excited, at least to see some Metal Gear Solid fucking news, because we haven't heard shit really since Metal Gear Solid 5 last gen. What was that? 2015, 2016, something like that.
It's been a minute. Yeah,
And obviously they had that awful.
survived.
It's been a long time, and then they had the Survive one, which we all try to forget. Um, and that was basically a cash grab. But ever since then, it's been radio silence.
That's
Obviously,
actually not their worst cash
Hideo has
grab.
done.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, it's not their worst.
Oh
Okay,
no,
all right.
we
I'm
forgot about some shit collectively.
I'm sure there have been some bad ones.
Yeah,
But obviously, Hideo did his thing. He had Death Stranding. When did that drop? 2019, I believe. Maybe
something like
2020.
that. Yeah, it's a great game. It was way different, but yeah,
Yeah,
great game. I loved it.
yeah. And it sounds like there's going to be a sequel to Death Stranding as well. So, but I mean, I remember all the awkwardness of the exit from Kojima, or yeah, Konami rather, with Kojima. I was excited to hear some type of news about Metal Gear Solid. Now, Snake Eater is a fantastic fucking game, and a remake. I was initially excited for really young fans to be able to know what the fuck Metal Gear Solid is, because you could go to a junior high or a high school anywhere in the fucking country right now and ask them who the fuck Solid Snake is, and they'll look at you like you just landed from fucking Uranus or Mars or
Well,
something.
no, they'll probably
They don't
just
know who the
say,
fuck
"Oh,
he is.
you mean the character from Super Smash Brothers?"
Yeah, exactly. If that, yeah, it's been a long time. An entire young teenage generation doesn't know who the fuck Snake is. So excited about that, but and I'm curious to know everybody else's thoughts on this. Obviously, they did Hideo wrong, like flat out.
Yes.
They were assholes to the 10th degree with this man, who's
For
a
a long
genius
time.
in
For
my
a
mind.
long time.
For it wasn't anything new. I'm also going to rewind the clock on something. Even though Metal Gear Solid 5, his last game in that series, got nines and tens and shit and was a fantastic fucking game, it wasn't finished. It just wasn't. He, you replayed missions in Africa and Afghanistan. I don't think he ever truly finished that game. He was under so much fucking pressure. It never really, he never saw his full fucking vision. So I don't want Konami to just sweep that under the rug, but I'm also, from what I hear, glad that David Hayter, I think the voice of old school voice of Snake, right?
Possibly he's coming back. Yes.
Is it? Yeah, at least some reports, I don't know if they're verified, are indicating that he may reprise his role, which I loved his look. He sounds like fucking Snake to me more than anybody else to me.
Yeah.
So all those things make me mildly optimistic, but we haven't seen real true gameplay of this, and there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I want to get your thoughts.
So you hinted on part of the problem. So like when I first saw the that they're gonna remake it, I was like, oh my god, I was, of course, because Metal Gear is one of my favorite series of all time, and maybe that was like when I was a kid, it made me care about geopolitics. You know,
Yep.
it's like once you play all those games, you understand what I'm talking about. And actually, some of the things that were in, especially Metal Gear Solid 4, kind of came to fruition with like PMCs and shit
Yep.
like that. Which is super interesting. But unless you play the games, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Uh, so one of the things that there's a couple things that stood out after after I busted my load.
Him.
One was that they didn't show a single piece of actual gameplay. All right, so we have no idea what it's going to look like. And then two, we have no idea who's making the game. Konami's making it, but who's actually making it? Like, there's gonna have to be like a remaster studio, right? Like, which remastering studio is making
Yep.
this game? There, that information is not out there as of like today. It's like the 31st of May, and yeah, I kind of forgot about the Kojima stuff immediately. And I'm thinking of like, does Hideo Kojima, is he giving his blessing on this? Is he going to get paid from this remake? You know, and let's not forget that Konami in recent years has not been focused on AAA games. So that's what
Nope.
makes me even more worried about this fucking game. I don't know if y'all remember, but like the last Metal Gear Solid 3 game, I'm putting that in air quotes, was a fucking Pacheco game.
Yep.
And yeah, so I mean, unless you're a big Pacheco fan, like that's not a Metal Gear experience. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's like some semi bullshit gambling thing, and it was like a cash grab. And Konami has been really focused on making like mobile games and shit like that lately, and like Metal Gear Survive and microtransactions, and a lot of these things might have been financially, I guess, better for them in the short term, but it as like keeping like a core gamer fan, like you kind of lost most gamers. I mean, what's the last great Konami game that you can remember?
The only one that I see that I've heard some stuff about is Zone of the Enders. They've made a couple of those. Those are
That was a long time ago. That was like PS2 era.
there's PS4.
There's
There's one
that was a
for
remake then. That was a remake.
so it's Zone of the Enders, the second runner Mars. It's on the
That's
PS4 and PSVR. And it's on Steam.
pretty sure that was a remake.
I'm looking at it right now on their website.
Does
I,
it say it's a remake or not? Because I'm pretty sure
it
it is.
just says PS4, PSVR, Steam, and Steam VR.
Well, either way, that's a long fucking time. That's
This was
last
released in 2018.
5 years ago. Like what? They have Konami has a whole bunch of solid fucking titles like Castlevania. What the fuck has that been?
Yep.
It's on Android. It's on Android.
Yeah, again, it's a mobile game. That's not, it's just a cash grab. And I hate saying cash grabs because obviously every single piece of media is a cash grab. Because I hate when people, especially today, talk about movies being cash grabs. What the fuck do you expect for them to do? Like, that's the whole point of making a media product is to make it highly palatable to a vast array of viewers so they buy your shit. So you get money, so you can make more stuff. So you can make more money. Like, that's the way that, buying and selling shit works. Anyway, yeah, Konami has not had the greatest track record since Kojima left. And has me highly skeptical of Metal Gear Solid 3. But obviously, if it comes out and it's good, I'll play the shit out of it because I really miss playing Metal Gear Solid games because they're fantastic games. It literally defined a genre.
So it doesn't look like
Yes, it did.
there is no current generation game by Konami. I guess the last, outside of soccer, the last AAA game was probably Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they did not completely let Hideo finish that fucking game. And I don't get me wrong, I fucking loved it.
Love
It was
that
a
game.
great fucking title. But let's also be clear. I'm glad you're throwing shade at Konami. Silent Hill is Konami as well.
Where the fuck's that at?
You know that franchise has been dead for a long time. I'll rewind the clock on this for old school fucks like me. Silent Hill was neck and neck in terms of the horror franchise with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But Capcom literally kept pumping out of Resident Evils. Now, not all of them were great, but of late, the overwhelming majority of them have been.
Yeah, they have they have a lot. I mean, Bomberman is another one, but that's more of a kids kind of thing. But yeah, they're missing like a lot of their like core franchises,
So it looks like their Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is what's pumping. They have a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Well, and I'm sure the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, as well as the soccer stuff, it's all heavily microtransactioned.
Yep, them card games.
What is this?
But
There's some
yeah,
football game they have. Back to the Club 20 eFootball 2023. I still even know. What the fuck is this?
yeah,
I don't know.
Wow,
yeah. I
Metal
mean,
Gear Solid 2 is their highest selling game of all time.
yeah. Uh, what was that tagline after? It was Metal Gear Solid 2, Patriot, Sons of Liberty, right?
I'm pretty sure
Sons
Sons.
of Liberty.
I think it was Sons of Liberty. Yeah,
Yeah, Sons of Liberty. That was a great one. Um, yeah.
yeah.
Again, the franchise for me, even though it's been all over, it's been on Nintendo, it's been on Xbox, it's been on a whole bunch of consoles. I believe that Metal Gear Solid, for me personally, is just synonymous with fucking PlayStation.
Hmm.
PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to see new stuff for 5. I get it, but you got to do it right. You got to do it right. And this is Hideo's baby. That's why he was fucking petty on Metal Gear Solid 5 and put his name all over every fucking cutscene. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember what it would say? It would say Hideo Kojima game or Hideo Kojima Metal Gear Solid
Well,
5
and in the
Part
game, you
3.
can
You know?
actually there's a mission where you erase all the names of like the old games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was petty. He was super petty.
Maybe
So
two.
yeah.
This is weird.
Go,
It's just
going
there's.
back.
It feels like their site is kind of devoid of like. I mean, there's an announcement page of all the like Gear Solid Delta, and then there's like some other stuff, but it's all kind of. I mean, there's rumors of a new Silent Hill, but nothing officially announced. Apparently, some people have seen it. I don't know how. I don't know how
There,
valid that is, but I mean, at least we know about Metal Gear Solid. And with after the popularity of Castlevania being nominated for awards, the animated series that is, there should have been
yep,
them jumping on like a new Castlevania, like a new
of course.
current gen Castlevania. We got nothing.
Especially after especially after like the Sam Dietz, who was on the podcast. Um, he made that really cool animated series on Netflix. I mean, like they should have like lined up a remake or a new Castlevania game when that cartoon dropped. But
Hmm.
they're busy making I don't know.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
That's what they're making.
Yeah, they got an awful history of late, and maybe they can turn it around. I think you brought up a really good point in terms of who is doing the remake. That's important. Capcom with Resident Evil, to my knowledge, does it in house, but obviously we've seen Blue Point and some other studios do impressive work in terms of making remakes or whatever.
It was like, was
Yeah,
it
we're gonna
blue?
see
It's blue something. What's
Blue
the
Point.
Blue Point?
Blue Point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they did Demon Souls and quite a few other really good ones. But
What?
yeah, I don't know. And here's the other thing too. A lot of people have problems with the showcase not showing enough games. Like there was some heat that Sony took for this
Hmm.
because, with the
Uh,
exception of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater and Spidey 2, they felt like it didn't have enough AAA goodness.
I
Yes.
mean, yeah. So when it was going on, when it was live, Carlos and I were talking about this, and I told him this. It felt like it was very audience, very niche specific, and that and Carlos was like, "This is for like weebs." And there's a shit ton of weeby games, a shit ton of weeb games, and
There
like,
was a,
okay,
but it's. I mean, there. I think there was still enough meat, with the potatoes.
yeah,
So
I guess.
yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm looking back about Blue Point, and yeah, I mean, honestly, they would be probably the go-to studio for remaking this game because they've already remade the Metal Gear Solid HD collection back in 2011,
Hmm.
and they've worked with
Yep.
multiple studios. They've done the God of War series. They've done Ico and Shadow, a Shadow of the Colossus, PlayStation All Stars. They ported it to the Vita.
Oh,
They did Uncharted. They did Gravity Rush remastered. Another Shadow of the Colossus remaster and Demon Souls for the PS5. So it's like, and they worked on God of War Ragnarok. It's like this would probably for me this would be like the no brainer. I mean, you already worked with them before to remake other games for the 360 and the PS3. So I mean, why not do it again? But you know,
Yeah. But now they are under the overall umbrella of Sony. But I agree with you; it'd be great because Sony acquired them. But yeah, we'll fucking see. for me, with going back to the showcase, and I know you guys went probably real deep on this last week, and I wasn't on, but I think there's some validity to the fact that I wanted to see a little bit more. Like, look, they've kept me fucking waiting since June of 2020, and we're in June of 2023 for any news about Last of Us 2 DLC or factions.
Oh,
Um,
Stitch already
I mean, it
told
would
you.
have been nice. It would have been nice to see something. I had no idea Naughty Dog, which is one of my favorite studios, it's so fucking prolific, and they're great every time they come out with something. Would give us 3 years of waiting without. And I'm not saying that it has to release this year, but I'd love to see something, some gameplay. You know,
Yeah, but I mean,
so
honestly, I think a lot of this still stems back to like the pandemic. And honestly, this year of games, I mean, especially like this past 2 months, god damn, it's fucking packed full of games. I just picked up Tears of the
it
Kingdom
is.
today. Started playing it. It's amazing. Obviously, Street Fighter Six drops this week. Also, like next week, Diablo 4 drops. Like, there's so many games that are just packed into this whole year. Where I'm kind of okay, if they're a little bit light on games. There's already been like a bunch of games that have been announced. We Spider-Man 2 comes out this year. That was more gameplay content was dropped on that showcase. Looks even more amazing to see Peter Parker in the in the Venom suit or the symbiote suit, and seeing how you can switch back and forth between the two, and that was a huge plus for me. And yeah, I mean, I think there was enough for me to be at least satisfied, but I understand the gripes.
Yeah. What was the other thing that was? There was a lot of rumors going around. I can't remember. Last of Us was certainly one of them. We don't know what anything that's going on with Santa Monica quite yet, but obviously I know that's early in production, and I think it's way too soon for Wolverine as well. We got to get past Spidey and all of its DLC or whatever as well. But overall, still happy to see stuff. I'm glad that they're going back to showcases because we hadn't seen a showcase in 3 years.
Yeah,
So there may be another one later this year.
Oh, there will
We'll
be.
see.
There's an Xbox showcase in like a couple of weeks, and then I guess Nintendo has a showcase coming up with a really weird. Not. I guess they picked a month, but not a date. I think in August or something. Not quite.
Okay. Well, but I mean, here's the other thing too. The big pink elephant in the room is this was generally the time that we used to have E3 every year, and obviously that's fucking
It's
dead on
dead.
arrival.
It's
yeah.
dead.
So, you know what I mean? Like, do as many of these showcases as possible, especially if you're one of the big consoles.
God damn, I
You know?
forgot. I forgot that Hogwarts Legacy came out. A couple like 2 months ago.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
people forget about like how much good stuff came out
Already.
already. Um, yeah,
Yep.
it's just been like hit after hit after hit.
I completely agree. We're only 6 months into 2023, and there's been 5 to 8, somewhere in that ballpark of games that are nines and tens.
Yeah,
Like you already talked about it, and I want to get into it.
That many?
Street,
I mean,
street,
we might
some,
we should break it
some.
down.
hold on. What were you saying, Prodigy?
Yes.
You're breaking up.
Hmm.
Oh, I was trying to say that you already alluded to it, but Street Fighter fucking 6 looks like one of the return to forms for fucking Capcom and Street Fighter. It's getting 93% on Metacritic. It looks amazing. Everybody's raving about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to pick it up, and you know what I might do because I know that there's like a way you can do like private rooms for like fighting and stuff. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna buy it and see if I can make like a Be the BTI room, so we could like I could fight some of the fans and see how well they are
There you go.
at Street Fighter 6. I haven't played Street Fighter in a long time, but I am pretty good. So I'm pretty good at a lot of fighting games. So yeah, I look forward to like the new systems that they have in the game. Like really, I love the art style with like the splash of like the color when you hit people and shit like that.
Hmm.
It looks really cool. I love the new characters. I'm really looking forward to like this new. I think it's called like I forget the drive system or something like that. Where like basically you start with like
Hmm.
your meter already full, and it's like up to you on like how you manage like the meter. Um, and it seems like it's gonna like throw a lot of really cool mechanics into fighting games. I think it looks really invigorating because I haven't played um, fighting games for a while. I got back into like one of the Tekkens a little while ago. Just playing solo, and it was fun. But it'd be cool to like play a modern one and play with some other people again.
Hmm.
Remember, five was a PS4 exclusive, but it was so fucking anorexic on the fucking content at launch. It did
Yeah,
Yeah.
not get
yeah,
great reviews. People
Oh no,
fucking shit on that one.
they still kind of do, and they had to. It was plagued by like a ton of updates. Like I have it because they offered it for free at one point, and like you have to
Yep.
buy characters. I'm like, what do you mean I gotta buy?
yeah. The whole buying shit is fucking annoying. I
That's
don't
fucking stupid.
I don't mind unlocking characters through like gameplay if it's not in a goddamn first person shooter. That was annoying in Overwatch 2. Fuck you, Overwatch, by the way. But in fighting games, I don't mind unlocking characters through like beating the game. Like that's okay. But not in first person shooters. Like get out of here. Especially when especially when they're like core characters. You know.
Mm.
So we'll see how this one goes. I like the open. They had like this open world like thing where you can make your own character and train with the other fighters, and basically you can combine like all the fighting styles that you want into like one character. You
Hmm.
know, like
I'm I'm sorry. I'm laughing at some of the videos. I don't know if you guys seen some of the shit that people were doing. It's fucking wild. It's like this crazy, like it's weird because it's Street Fighter, but people were doing some of the most wackiest shit in the fucking game. Like what the? So yeah.
Well, the other thing you have to appreciate about Capcom, I like how they aren't afraid to go into the kind of cheesy fucking hardcore weeb stuff or whatever. Like Cammy is doing all these kind of sexy moves and whatnot. Obviously, they had Lady D from Resident Evil Village a couple years ago or whatever. Like R Mika or whatever from Street Fighter, I think five, I believe, was
Mm.
doing the suggestive stuff or whatever. So what? It's fun. It's like you're going to see the cosplayers love it. You're going to see the fucking horny weebs love it. Do it, Capcom. Like, don't be fucking shy to have some shit that is a little risque, but like over the top fun. That's part of anime and gaming culture as well.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
don't
especially in
shy
like
away from it.
this day and age when like people are like they complain about female character designs. I'm like, look, motherfucker, Zangief is wearing panties the whole time.
Yep.
Hmm.
Like it's
It's a speedo.
yeah, but I mean, come on, that's like get the fuck out of here. You know, and like
Yeah, man.
every guy except for like there's like maybe two fat guys
Yeah.
in
E
the whole
Honda.
game. Everybody else
Well,
is yoked as
yeah.
shit. You
There are
know,
two. Yeah. Well, no, there's three fat
there's
guys now.
Bob. There's a fat guy named Bob.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
Bob. So
yeah,
there's the guy from Israel too. The guy who he fucking pours oil on himself and
Oh
shit.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
I know
Yeah, he's
yeah,
exactly.
like a sultan or whatever. That guy, he fucks you up.
yeah. But it's like
Look,
you know, just like people forget that almost every single dude in these games are yoked as shit too. You know,
Hmm.
they're all. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say Dawson got a fucking loincloth on. That's it.
Yeah, it's like come on. They all have ridiculous physiques. So
Hmm.
whatever. It's either you
Well,
can go ahead.
also they're not real.
Yeah, they're still
They're
not
not real.
real. Yeah.
These aren't real people. We could stop being offended by fictional characters. But yeah, I love that about Capcom. I'm excited about it, and I think I'll even say this. I know you're hyped for this one as well, Kronos. Diablo 4 is looking great too. You
Man,
know, Blizzard needs to return to form. I love Diablo 3. I may have to just get over my lack of an infinite dodge roll.
you might have to. I need
I
to throw a
might
little
have
bit of
to.
shade though. I'm kind of pissed about this. So I'm buying the game, the physical copy because y'all know me. I'm old school. I like buying physical shit. But apparently the only way you can get it early access is if you buy it on digital. So I'm like, fuck. And I literally paid extra to get like the box, but the box doesn't come with the game. So yeah, whatever. You just call me a simp at this point for this game. So I'll have to wait until the 6th to play.
Yeah.
But you know what? In the meantime, I got Tears of the Kingdom today, so I'll be playing that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you will.
Did the prodigy just fall over and die? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Do I call
Maybe
911? Oh, there we
he's
go.
talking
Okay.
about
Had to go pee.
Oh,
Tony.
okay.
He's
Gotcha.
talking about Tony Reeves. You're talking about Horny Reeves and had a stroke.
uh, but yeah, we will fucking see. Old Ninja, are you still playing the Star Wars?
Oh yeah,
It's
I
another
hit a
great game. See, every
yeah.
goddamn month this year has had at least one solid like 9 out of 10 game.
So, you
Mm-hmm.
want so I want to kind of take that and just immediately springboard into because Prodigy, you brought this up earlier, and I was like, why don't we just get into it now?
What's
We're
up?
talking about the games that were highly rated thus far for 2023, with more to come.
Yep.
Um, I want to start off with I don't want to go by month, but I'm looking at a list here. I mean, starting off early, I guess we had Hogwarts Legacy, which was
Mm-hmm.
like almost, uh, and I think an average of 9.7 or some shit. We had Resident Evil 4, one we don't talk about very often because I don't think anybody has it, but the remake to Dead Space
Yeah,
that had
I want to play it.
a shit ton of that had like nines and a couple of tens across the board.
Yeah, so I don't have that, but I do have Hi-Fi Rush,
Okay, Hi-Fi Rush
which is not
is
to be
another one.
slept on.
Yes, and I have it too, and I haven't booted the game, but I have it on my console. But yes, which is also an exclusive to Game Pass. I'm not going to say the console; it's a Game Pass exclusive. But that was also another nines and
Not really.
tens. What do you mean? Not really. It's
I mean, I
not.
put
It's not exclusive to Game Pass.
no, there's not because I'm playing on my Steam Deck. It's on Steam.
What? It's on Steam as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the other place I played it was on my Steam Deck.
Okay.
It's great.
Uh. So the one that just came out, which was getting almost tens. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, another highly rated game that just like we're talking like what it came out a week
it
ago.
it is a 10. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why people are tripping. But it's a fucking 10.
Yeah. Some people were saying did Resident Evil 4. I think I mentioned already.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Another one. I think Chronos is the only one that has this game, but Metroid Prime Remastered, which came out
Actually,
earlier
I
this
do
year.
not have this game. I forgot
You
to
don't have
fucking
it?
get it.
I thought you picked it up. Okay.
No, no, because it came out in the same month of as Hogwarts Legacy. It was like a week after
Uh,
Hogwarts Legacy, and I
okay.
was on that wizard shit, y'all,
It,
Yeah,
for a
I
minute.
hold
was.
on, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm clear about it though. Is it? It's the remaster of the old GameCube one and the one that
Yes,
they redid for the
Yes.
Wii as well.
yes,
Uh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
which is a
And then also,
fantastic game.
Yeah,
yes, I have the original.
I loved
So,
all three of those. Yeah.
another one that came out, which our friend of the podcast, B Boy, he was playing the hell of it. He was trying to get me to play, but this one got high ones too. I know a lot of people were kind of skeptical because it's also an EA game, but the reviews were in. They came in high. Was Atomic Heart, which was
Oh
like
yeah.
a Monster Hunter kind of clone, but people said the mechanics were better. This was a
Wait, you
highly
say
rated
Monster
game.
Hunter clone?
Yeah, it's like a clone, but
No,
it's
no,
basically
it's not like. Wait, you said what game?
Atomic
Atomic
Heart.
Heart? No, it is not. It's like Bioshock.
Atomic Heart? Am I thinking of? Oh,
You
I
you're
maybe
thinking
thinking of.
of a different game. There is a
I'm
game that's like, you're thinking of Wild Hearts.
yes, I'm thinking of Wild Heart. That's
Okay,
what I'm.
I was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
No, Atomic Heart. Was another that so that was yeah. So this is a PC only game.
Atomic Heart?
No, I guess it's on. Oh, this came out February 21st. No, it's on the consoles too. But
Yeah, it's
apparently
everywhere. Yeah.
this is a highly rated game. I remember bits and pieces of it. What else is on here? Obviously, Jedi Survivor. Rightfully so, getting nines and tens. I would say definitely a 9.8 for me. I would dare give it a 10, but there's like little things that kind of notch it down. But this is a highly rated game of the year type game for me. I'm like super loving this. There's enough challenge and whatnot to play, but a lot of people are playing it. I mean, it's funny to me. This is one of those games that the haters are playing it. Like the people
Hmm.
that hate on the game, they bought the game, finished it, hated on it, and then they said they're going to play it again.
There you go.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So, and that's just so far. I mean, we
Well,
still have
you
other
you
games.
forgot.
Would I?
Well,
Would I?
I was just gonna say real quick. You forgot. Horizon got DLC that got some
Okay,
good
Yeah,
so
ratings.
it's fucking
uh,
great DLC.
I didn't put that on there because it is DLC. It's not the original
Well,
game.
hold on. This is the weird part, is that it's
Mm,
DLC, but if this was like 5, 10 years ago, that'd have been a whole ass game.
there you
Oh yeah,
go.
100%.
Yeah,
No, but it is an expansion to the game, just like the expansion to. Actually, nobody's talking about the expansion to Cyberpunk. Apparently, it hasn't been released yet. Like they're late or some shit. I don't
I
know.
mean, obviously at this point, take your fucking time.
Yeah,
Learn from your mistakes. So take as much time as you need.
and that's just what's out so far.
I mean,
I
Yeah.
mean,
there's a couple that you missed. Dead Island 2, another one that got pretty decent reviews.
did it?
Yeah, it,
Yeah.
it, it got
Yeah.
decent reviews. We can't talk about Redfall because that one got really shitty reviews, but
We
it
got
still
shitty.
was like a pretty large game.
Yeah, same.
Um,
I mean, same thing with Forspoken. That got
yeah,
that was released, but that got shitty fucking reviews.
they got
Or
their
actually,
money.
no, not shitty. It got mediocre reviews.
Yeah,
I should be fair.
it was
And then
definitely mixed.
which is out this week is already getting a plethora of high reviews is Diablo 4. I don't want to bring that up because it's not really out and only people that had early access were
No,
playing.
it comes out tomorrow, so the first.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's people already playing it like a week ago, but that's because they had early access and they paid like extra money. But yeah, um, but there's still other stuff that we're looking forward to. I guess there's a System Shock coming out this year.
It came out
Did it already
yesterday.
come? Oh, did it? Apparently got decent reviews. Did it come out yesterday?
Supposedly, I haven't seen anything about it though. Like I haven't seen. I need to like look it up. Like I didn't see the reviews on IGN, so they're
Okay.
not my
Okay.
only thing, but they're my usual go to for
Yeah.
reviews. They're not always
Usually,
right, but they usually are.
usually for the, but so I try to do IGN and Games Radar. I
Yeah,
feel like
Those are good ones.
I feel like between the two, I should be able to get a pretty good um review. Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at reviews here. Like Metacritic gave it a 76 out of 100. There's a 9s out of 10, 80 out of 100, stuff like that.
that's
So
pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so
You know,
next month is tomorrow, but it's June, and that's Street Fighter 6
6.
drops on the 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
and Diablo 4 is on the 6th. If you don't have early access, Aliens Dark Descent, which could be a great game. I don't know yet.
Oh, that's if they make their launch window. Just
Okay.
saying.
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a monster of a game, and
Sure will
that's an
be.
exclusive. So
Don't 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 sleep on that one. Like the gameplay looks impressive. It looks, dare I say, God of War inspired. You know, so we'll fucking see.
Yeah.
And my first Final Fantasy was literally the 7 remake, so I'm fucking hyped about this one.
yes,
Like
you know what? You
I've
didn't play
never
the
been
boy
into
band.
it.
You got to play the boy band one, man. I mean, come on, that's a modern one.
Which one is that one?
The boy band one, 15.
Oh, 15.
15.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
You just drive
So
around in Audi.
yeah, I watched Cronus's play of this. I'm like, why do these guys look like they're a fucking? They look like they're a clone of both a K-pop band
Yeah,
and an American fucking boy band. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're driving like this an old fucking like caddy or whatever.
it's an
with
Audi. It's
monsters.
literally an Audi.
It's an Audi.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
It looked like an old Chevy. That's what it fucking looked like a 60
Goddamn.
something Chevy. And they had swords and shit in the back. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Honestly,
I'm
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm fucking down. I don't even know anything about the story. I know it won't have the same
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
characters from 7.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It looks fun.
I mean, it's why
So-
Final Fantasy is like it has stood the test of time is because all their games. I'm sorry, most I would say 90% of their games do not have the same characters or the same style of gameplay from game to game, and that's one of the reasons why they've easily adapted to like modern gameplay styles, modern graphics, and modern storytelling is because they keep changing up the way that they do it. But I still say Final Fantasy VI is the best one of all time. The best one they have, and they really need to update that. If they update that, I'll buy literally 2 copies to show
There you
my
go.
fuck, and I will give one away. So
Yeah.
The other one that we never talk about on this show, that a lot of people go fucking hard for, 14 was the online MMO one.
I played a little bit
People,
of it. Yeah,
people still go really hard and do raids on that and have their whole friend base on there. I know we never mentioned. I never fucking played it,
I
but
so I've played it, and my problem with the game is the same problem that I have with Monster Hunter. It's the goddamn HUD. It's like I'm have a goddamn seizure. Like, stop putting so much shit on the
There's a bunch,
screen.
a lot of shit in the HUD.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
like,
right.
clean up the HUD.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. So it's funny because even though the HUD is full of shit for Monster Hunter, the gameplay is very it's improved. I mean, Monster Hunter World was a huge release because it was like the best Monster Hunter at the time. Actually, Rise is okay, but I would say Monster Hunter World is a superior game at this point because I play both and I much engage Monster Hunter World, but
I,
um,
and I know we're early, and obviously we're getting Spider-Man later in the fall and whatnot. But don't sleep on the fact that we're getting this Armored Core game. I don't know. I've never played an Armored Core game.
It doesn't matter. You gotta play
This
it.
I'm gonna give this a fucking shot. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Yeah, have you ever watched any of God damn it, what's the I forget the name of the goddamn anime. What's the anime
Which
with the
one?
mechs? God damn it, I'm fucking showing up.
Robotech,
um,
I mean,
Appleseed,
Robotech is a good one.
Mech
Gundam,
Hunter.
Gundam.
No, not Mech Hunter. There's an anime. Hold on, give me a second. What's
You said Armored
Iron
Core.
Blooded Orphans? I'm thinking of
Oh yeah. I saw a few of those.
fucking Gundam. God damn it, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He said Gundam.
You said Gundam? My
Yeah,
bad. Yeah. Yeah, if you like
um,
Gundam or Robotech or anything like that, probably more
oh,
Gundam. But yeah, you'll probably. I used to play mech games back in the day. I used to play Mech Warrior a lot on the PC.
There you go. I remember that one.
Yeah.
oh, I'm so I don't know if you played Chrome Hounds, but Chrome Hounds was like
No.
their squad went hella hard for that game. It was like one of those sleeper hits, and then they shut down the servers, and everybody cried. So it
There's
was
a
one
game
All
of
that
10
me and
weeks.
Blue are really good at. It was like it was an arcade game. Virtual On. That was my shit for
Oh,
so
dude,
fucking long.
I
Oh my
love
god.
Ah, man, I spent so much money on that game, and then it moved to the Sega Genesis.
I think
Or no, I'm thinking Space Harrier. That's what I'm thinking.
once I settle down and get like my own place again, I want to find a Virtual On fucking cabinet and buy that
Oh my,
shit. Yeah.
oh my god, that's weird. There's also some games we're sleeping
How
on
much is
just
it?
to be respectful. There's a bunch of because the only one who has a Switch, I don't think even Blue has a Switch, is Cronus, and there's some games
I got
on
two.
here like Fire Emblem and get you. Wait, you have two Switches?
Yeah, I bought one for K-Mac.
Oh,
For
okay.
K. Yeah.
I thought you guys shared one.
No,
That's
like well, we used to, but then I was like,
all right.
the OLED one came out, and I was like, well, I mean, let's see if
Oh,
we
so you gave her your old one and you took the OLED.
no, I gave her the OLED one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you see that? You hear that, lady? That's a good boyfriend. He bought her the new stuff, and he took the old one and kept it for himself.
yeah, that's what I'm playing. Tears of the Kingdom on is on the old one.
There we go. There's some stuff on here like so Fire Emblem, which I never play these games. I feel like there's 5011. Apparently, this was a highly rated game. Fire Emblem
Oh yeah,
Engage.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't play these games, but this got really good reviews as well this year.
Oh, it dropped this year. I thought they
Yeah,
had. I thought they had
it,
one literally last year. Am I
because
tripping?
they drop one like almost every year to every 2 years. So there's
Dang.
one like all the fucking time. Um, I've heard little bits and pieces. Shoulders of Giants, where you play as a fucking space frog, but apparently
It's
this
a
one's
space
been.
fucking frog. All right.
Yeah, you play as a space frog. You're a frog with a little bubble on your head, and you have a gun and shit.
Look,
I didn't. I
look.
guess
They already have the fucking Star Fox franchise. I
they
can
do.
dig. You know what I mean? I can dig a space frog. Let's go.
So let me ask you this: when was the last time there was a Star Fox game?
Shit, N64 for sure.
No, there was a more recent one than that.
Do they have one for the Wii?
No, I think they had one.
No, I don't think there's one on the Wii.
No, there was a more recent one. Hold on, I gotta look it up. Oh,
Really?
well, you already know, right? Oh, Ninja.
No, the last one I can think of is the one for the GameCube. That's the only one Star Fox Assault because I have that game. That was had the 4-player split screen multiplayer shit and like you can do like both ground and sea, but it was a small sandbox. It was really fun, but it's kind of like a remake of the N64 one, but with more characters and a slightly better story.
2017.
There was a Star Fox in 20. Was it a
There's a Star
remake?
Fox 2.
Oh,
It's a
Star Fox.
remake. Yeah, it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay, because So, little history, folks. Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo got fucking canceled. They're in the middle of development. They fucking got canceled. Fast forward 2 decades, 3 decades later, they go back to finish the game. They went to finish the game and then released it as finished it, released it on I think it's the Wii or something, and called it Star Fox 2.
Damn.
So
But yeah,
there
they
you go.
really need to like remake. I mean, if you're like an arcade, that's one of the things though. There's in this day and age, it's very hard to make certain kinds of games because you're basically you're really you're taking a chance, right?
Yep.
Because people love first person shooters
Mhm.
foremost. That's like the number one thing that everybody loves right now. First person shooters, then maybe adventure games, RPGs. Now people are getting into like the side scrollers more. That was gone for a long fucking time
Mhm.
with side scroll games. Those are coming back. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's not there's also racing games and some sports games, but it's like trying to get trying to get into like the simulated flight sims. Like they don't. There's not a whole lot of them right now, but they could take a chance and make it seem cool again. So
So the last flight sim that I got was Star Wars Squadrons, where
Hmm.
you can use the old. You can actually use the flight sticks if you had like an old one that had like a USB or had like a USB adapter, it would work on your console. It
there
was
was
fucking dope.
one. Hold on, there was one for the Switch. Um,
Was there one? Oh, and
A
also
flight sim.
Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft has like the one that Blue keeps hating on, Ace Combat, because he loves the game. It was
yeah.
an Xbox exclusive, but you can use that setup. Like, all that setup still works on the system. It's pretty awesome.
No, there's one where you could like you could, oh Starlink, that's what it was. Starlink, because you could have like the amiibos. You could like put they were
Oh,
like toys
nice.
that you put on the
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to
yes,
remember what the fuck it
I
was.
remember that one. I totally because I don't know if you all remember the It was around the time that Disney had their that game where you buy the little toys and you add them to the little pad and it adds them to the game. It was like
Yeah.
kind of like that. And like there was a bunch of copycats like that. There was like a pirate one. Shit, I can't remember what the name of the game. It was like because they stopped the service like a few years ago, but like uh there's a bunch of copycats. I want to say it's like Sky Cooper, but it's not. That's not right. But they had a few of those.
Yeah, this is the game where when I was talking about Star Fox, I was like, there was a new one, and I was thinking of this game
Yeah.
because it's very Star Fox ish for the game. So yeah,
Right on.
flight sims is the reason why I can't play first person
Oh
shooters with like normal controls. I have to
Hmm.
input them. So yeah,
no,
thank you
I go back.
X Wing and X Wing versus Tie Fighter.
I have those games. I have those games like literally right behind me. I should probably
You
reinstall.
have X Wing on
Actually,
there, like the originals, like on DOS.
yeah. So I have them copied. Somebody copied like a shit ton of games for me, and they were passing them out to people. So they wanted us to play together. So they copied the game. So I have like old copies. I have a copy of I think it's X Wing Alliance, where you play as
Yeah,
the farming family, and you get blown up. Your farm gets destroyed, so you join the rebellion. So it's like
or the
a
terrorists if
pre
you're an American. I'm just
yeah
call them say what they are. And they're
yeah I
terrorists.
mean space terrorists. And then I have X Wing versus Tie Fighter, and I have I think just Tie Fighter. So I have those two. I don't have the original X Wing, but I have those three, and then I have like Battlegrounds and shit. I don't know why I have Battlegrounds, but I played the shit out of those. But yeah, I have a bunch of those.
Well, also, just to mention, and again, this is not my fucking favorite genre per se, but in terms of respecting gaming history, MMOs, and obviously they have their much love on the PCs or whatever with Warcraft and then World of Warcraft and some of the others, but those are a big genre that is has certainly gotten more love the past 15, 20 years. I mean, obviously that's what Destiny was trying to do with Bungie from the very first one to a certain extent. Obviously, still a shooter, still has RPG elements, but they wanted it to be semi MMO like.
I mean, I consider those.
Those.
Yeah, I mean they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're just, they call it games as a service,
Yep.
but I mean
Yeah,
they're
oh yeah,
MMOs, so
MMOs, 100%. Because everything that comes out, you got to buy, just like a
Hmm.
fucking MMO.
yeah.
Every expansion has to be bought, but people are pissed off because they don't like their first-person shooters and RPGs to mix for some reason, so they freak out. But I mean, for me, it's like if you don't want to play that, just don't buy it, and then don't get mad when you can't do the activities your friends are doing.
Yep.
So, um, I didn't know this, but a Kirby game came out this year.
Oh yeah,
Kirby and
yeah.
Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Apparently, this got good reviews this year and came out
Was
early this year.
but it was an original like sequel to the latest one on the Kirby franchise,
Yeah,
or
but I
is it?
mean, so Nintendo games, which I know that you don't play any of them. So
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's
I
the
just
Yeah,
one
didn't
thing
know.
about
I just
Nintendo is that Nintendo has been like, obviously, I'll give a caveat. Nintendo needs to have a new console out like fucking 2 years ago, but
mm,
they're still putting out quality games on like hindered hardware. Like I have no idea how the fuck they pulled Magic out of their ass with Tears of the Kingdom or even Breath of the Wild to begin with, but um, if their next console, they really need to like put some time into like the hardware because I think that they could surpass um, Sony honestly because well at least maybe not surpass, they could catch up to them like a lot more at this point because they're still putting out solid games, but the fact that they're on like this fucking old ass cell phone hardware, is keeping them back at this point because yeah, I enjoy, Tears of the Kingdom and all that shit, but it's like, you're still cell shading shit, and I can tell like the kind of the shortcuts that you're making in the game at this point.
yeah.
Still
I
highly enjoyable though.
I would love to see them embrace some aspects of more modern online as well. I just would, and I know why they don't and whatnot, but sometimes it's just fun to play, war games online with people. But
hmm
I'm not saying you can't, but
Well,
it'd
yeah,
be
yeah, you can play
go ahead.
games online with the Switch, but yeah, they have like this weird like friend code thing, and it's dumb. It's really
hmm
dumb. And like the fact that this is another fuck you to Nintendo. All right, so when Nintendo Switch first dropped, they were like, "There's no Bluetooth." So everybody assumed, including me, that there was literally no Bluetooth chip in that motherfucker. Like fucking 3-4 years later, like, "Oh, we enabled Bluetooth now. You can have." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
yeah,
Like,
yeah, they fucking lied to
what
you.
the fuck? Like, literally, they sold accessories to hook up your cell phone to a headset to have functionality of a headset on your. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, fix your hardware, please. You know, Nintendo. Like, I love you guys, but I mean, please modernize because adults play your shit too, and we're tired of your bullshit. So,
Hmm.
but I'll keep buying your shit. So, I guess you got me.
Uh, really quickly, I know Cronus and I we talked about this game with B Boy, but I didn't bother buying it. The Wulong Dynasty game.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good, but apparently it's been pretty well reviewed so
Well,
far.
I was,
I'm just like
for me,
I
yeah,
kind of lost interest.
the Wulong one looked okay. Like, it looked not. It's not for me. It's another one of those like the inventory management and like the menu system is fucking. For me, it's like really, it's not easy to fuck up a game, but there's certain things that I don't like. Like they're hard no's for me. Crazy fucking HUDs is a
Yeah.
hard no for me, and if inventory management is shit, it's a hard no for me too. Like I'm not gonna go through. Listen, I'm fucking 43 years old. I'm turning 44 this year. I'm not trying to go through some crazy inventory management to get through shit. And that's one of those games where like the inventory management is fucking crazy. Like I'm not fucking doing it. So you know,
Throwing that line in the fucking
it's
sand.
Black Wukong is the one that I'm looking forward to. Not Wulong. I'm pretty sure it's called Black Wukong.
Oh no, this one is just a Wulong um, Dynasty something or other.
I'm
Wait.
sorry, Black Myth Wukong. That's the one I'm
Okay,
looking
yeah,
for.
yeah, that's the one you're looking. Yeah, it's
All
the one
right.
with the
With the
monkey
Monkey
man.
King. Yeah, Goku.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
Son Goku. I said Arigato like you said Arigato.
God damn. Uh, what else am I missing? I just skipped into my page. So I mean, that's just so far. We've already named like 10, 15 freaking games.
You know, I just thought about as I was thinking about like the crazy inventory management. Because I think about like
Mm.
my house, how it's all fucking messy, and if I'm playing a
Mhm.
game and the fucking inventory management's messy, I'm like, fuck, my house is still messy. Makes me feel bad. I'm just saying.
There you go. There you go. Now I get it.
Can you
And
see my background?
we all have our fucking turnoffs with that shit, man. I'm telling you, I get it. Um, let's switch it up just a little bit. We always come back to gaming, but big ass fucking Disney movie dropped. I saw it with my daughter and with Cronus's daughter.
Yeah.
They dropped with I keep fucking up her name, but it's Halle. I want to
Bailey.
say Halle. I know Bailey, not Barry. I always want to say Halle Berry.
Haley.
Every
Is
fucking
it Haley Bailey?
it's Haley.
Yeah,
Haley.
it's
Haley.
Haley.
It's fucking me
It's
up too.
Haley.
Because
I
like
literally told you I was fucking it up, and
when
I
they
did it in
literally,
real time.
and this is what fucked me up. When it first announced like that actor was gonna play Ariel, I was like, I mean, she kind of, not young anymore. Not that she's bad looking.
Um, but shout out to her. I did see it. Obviously, I'm not the fucking core audience. I get that. But my daughter enjoyed it. It seemed like Cronus's daughter
Oh
enjoyed it as
yes.
well. It's a whole lot of fucking singing, just like the fucking original cartoon movie. There's some new songs in there. Um, I don't know. You'll have to ask a 7, 8, or 9 year old girl whether the songs are as catchy as the first movie or Moana or Frozen or whatever. But
That was my daughter's favorite part was the songs. So,
okay, so then they are core audience is
well, hold
saying
on,
that they are fucking catchy.
real quick. You're probably wondering why wasn't Cronus there to watch it with his daughter? It was I work on Sundays, so
Ah,
like not that I was like I would totally watch it with her. Like I'm not against watching movies with my daughter.
yeah,
I was just I worked on Sunday when she went to go watch it.
no worries. But overall, very enjoyable for what it was. I will say that Haley, I'm always going to fuck that up. She has an incredible voice all the way around. And for anybody who's hating on her because she's a black actress that got this role or whatever, she would have beat out almost anybody from the goddamn singing point alone. Not to mention her acting, which was fantastic too.
People,
But
go ahead.
her
Keep going.
voice,
Keep going.
her voice is amazing.
Yeah.
Like once in a fucking generation level of fucking voice. And for a musical, which is what this is, to have an actress that can't sing as the lead is fucking suicide. Like, what are you fucking doing? You can't do that at all. So it's it's blatant to me. The folks who were completely against her, even though she's now. Hold on, let me back up. If you were unfamiliar with her and didn't know she was this fantastic singer, I might give you a little bit of grace, a little bit. But once you hear any of her singing itself and you're still hating on her, then you're just a racist piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it was amazing to me, like seeing like even when the trailer dropped, the amount of like thinly veiled racism and like even blatant racism um, about her being the Little Mermaid. Not my mermaid, and somebody said that she was over singing, and I was just like, what? Is it? Are you saying she's over singing because she sings better than the original actress? I mean, because she's a better singer. I mean, like, I understand that most of the time singing is kind of like subjective,
Yep.
but I mean, how can I put it? Like, do you think who's a better singer? Here, I'll make it even like quote unquote reverse racist. Who has the better voice, Janet Jackson or Mariah Carey?
Mariah every time.
Like, that's not even like,
Janet, damn you.
yeah, this is not even really a rational person would not argue this with anybody, right? And this is the same thing with that. Don't get me wrong. The first, voice actress for Ariel, she was a fantastic singer. I'm not taking anything away from her, but you know, Haley is a better singer.
Yep.
And I saw comments of I didn't watch the movie yet. I'm going to watch it. People said that she was a bad actress, and the reason why that they took her voice away is because she was a bad actress. I'm just like, no, that's the fucking story. They take her voice away in the fucking story. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, like I didn't watch the new one. I know this because I watched the old one. I watched the old one when they still had dicks on the cover of the VHS. That's a thing. Look it
Yeah,
up.
it is.
Go Google it. Literal dicks.
It's at the
Oh,
very top of the fucking picture too.
It's the
So
top of
funny.
the top of the towers. There were definitely dicks. Anyway, I just this is what I can't stand about certain portions of America that just they they can't come out to say what they want to say. Just say it so everybody fucking knows that you're a racist piece of shit. Just say
yeah.
it. You know, if you're afraid of it getting canceled, then just say it to your friend. Just fuck it. You think that should be normal. So just say it.
Yeah.
And it just and the fact that they kind of him and haw and try to like backtrack on stuff. Oh, why are you bringing race into this? It's like it's obvious that what you're saying is because of the color of her skin. And
Yep.
somebody said that she looks like she's autistic. I'm just like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like that doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Like,
Yeah. Can I just say this too? Now, I will admit that, and I know you saw that first episode, the actress, not because of the role in Swarm, there were times when I thought that because of that character, not the actress, but that
oh
character.
yeah, hundred
And I
percent,
think
yeah.
that was intentional, and that goes along with how weird that fucking show was. You don't get any sense of that in fucking Little Mermaid. You're out of your mind.
Well, that's the weird thing is that when they said autistic, they probably meant Down syndrome, which is like literally like they're almost the polar opposite of like facial features from like her
Exactly.
face, and because there's one thing I don't even want to fucking say because then people would like pick up on it. But anyway, she's a beautiful woman, all right,
Yeah.
and people just want to like shit on her any way possible. If she had a fucking chip nail, they'd be talking about how she was fucking dirty and or some shit, just people need to goddamn fucking stop. And it's also all these things that I'm saying. Um, these movies they're not made for me or for the people
Yep.
that are commenting on these. There's a bunch of adults that were saying all these things about this actress who's a young woman. Like we are not the. It's like me complaining about fucking Paw Patrol
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
Or
Dora the
Dark,
Explorer.
or Blippi
or
or
Dark,
some shit. It's
or
like
Dark Prodigy.
it's not. I'm not the audience. It's for them to enjoy it. Let them enjoy what they want to enjoy. Just like let them read what the fuck they want to read. You know.
Yeah.
Got burned
Al-
in books.
Also, I will quickly say, for the billionth fucking time, there are black people that have natural reddish hair. I know that blows
Yeah.
people's mind. Kronos' nephew
Yeah.
actually has red hair.
And he's a
Well,
twin, and the other one doesn't.
Yep.
uh, so uh, I guess people seem to forget that Malcolm X existed.
There you go. Exactly.
And he was a historical figure
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
reddish hair. So
So there's all kind of weird shit that
but
goes
also,
on. People,
on a whole other point, also kind of the same point, nobody's ever been a fucking mermaid.
there you go. There you
mermaids
go.
don't exist.
Just
There
saying.
you go.
Mermaids don't exist.
Nobody white
Uh,
lived under the sea. Nobody black lived under the sea.
nope.
I'm just saying.
Nope. You know what else? There might not be Jamaican crabs under the sea either that are like singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Might not.
There might be Polynesian crabs. Maybe.
Shiny crabs.
Mm.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So again, go, especially if you have a daughter, go. Even if you don't, go see the movie. It was well worth it. Now I will say this for the adults. It had been a long time since I'd been in a movie theater opening weekend that was
What,
made like a
kids?
Disney princess movie with a lot of kids. Just know kids are going to be fucking kids, and there are some 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds that are going to be talking the whole fucking movie, kicking the back of your seat, crying, laughing, snorting, sneezing in your fucking popcorn. Like kids are going to be fucking kids, If you're an adult and can't handle that, then just wait a few weeks or
What are you talking about?
something.
Just you make a scene like a proper adult. I'm just saying. You tell
Oh,
the kid
damn.
behind you to shut the fuck up, and why did you bring a child to a child's movie?
Yeah. Or you do the new thing. You get up, you go to the concession stand, and you ask to see a manager.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's your,
with it,
that's
you
your,
can only do that with Leon Kennedy hair.
yeah.
It doesn't work
God damn it! I
anywhere.
was trying to think of a haircut. That's the exact haircut. Yeah.
it's a
Or
Karen cut.
if you're wearing the same sort of Oakleys that maybe Bret Hart might have worn when he
There you
was
go.
wrestling, if you're a dude. So
Yeah.
there you go. And you definitely drive a truck that's lifted that you've never taken
Oh yeah.
off road.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah. And you only drive in the city. Yeah. 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 100%.
Now see, what I do is I take the youth to Evil Dead Rise. That's what I do. I take the youth
Yeah.
to an
There
adult
you
movie.
go.
You know what I mean?
That's questionable, but yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
little
you've already
kid,
done
how do you feel about nightmares?
it. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, did they show for Prodigy? Did they show the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's during Little Mermaid?
What? No.
They did. Oh
No,
no, they did actually. I
they
think they
did.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
I
That's what I
think
was
they
thinking.
did.
What? That's quite odd.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it's
was weird.
technically a teen to kids game, and a lot of younger kids were playing the game. So
Yeah.
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if they showed that trailer in front of it because I just watched the trailer. I was like, "What the fuck? This is really like
There's
okay."
like a jump scare at like the end of the trailer.
There's a couple like scares, especially if you're a young kid. Like
Yeah.
you see animatronic animatronic dolls with glowing Sith eyes. Because they're red and yellow.
But
Like,
remember, fuck them kids. Like fuck their
ah,
Yeah.
nightmares.
damn,
Fuck
yeah.
everything about them. But yeah, so that was certainly a thing. I hope it. Oh
Oh,
shit!
what? Wait, hold on.
What was
We
that?
have a
What
guest
happened?
appearance. Maybe.
Oh,
Hey,
damn.
can you hear
Hold
us?
on once. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
We can't
We
see
got-
you though.
That's all right.
Using this up. This should
You have the
work.
Michigan
There
Surly.
we go.
There we go.
Oh, there
Oh
you go.
shit.
We
What's going
got
on, Stitch?
Stitch up in
Now
this
we cooking with
motherfucker.
gas.
Yeah.
There we go.
Damn.
Stitch, god damn it, it's good to see you.
What's
So
up?
here's what the audience needs to hear from you. Old Ninja does not know how to pay attention on raids. Can you explain to the
No.
This
I,
motherfucker can't even,
I,
can't
yeah,
even platform.
platform. And you talking about not paying attention? I paid attention. I can't hear with your shitty ass mic plugged into your console. That's what happened.
Oh my god.
Stitch?
That's what's
Stitch,
happened. You can
Stitch,
say whatever
you
you
got
want.
that. Set
If
the
I
record
can't
straight.
hear you,
Set the
if I
record
can't hear
straight.
you, I can't follow the instructions.
Oh
Set
my
the record
gosh.
straight, Stitch.
Oh yeah, so what you got to say? I'm about to say. I'm about to say it.
I obviously have never served in the military, but I can imagine, Kronos, you've dealt with people where you give them very specific instructions and they're like, nah, I'm just gonna do it my way.
Oh, that's Leroy Jenkins. That's the Leroy Jenkins mindset right there.
Well, Leroy Jenkins is like himself going in to do some shit. So essentially in this raid mission that we're
Oh no,
doing.
no. Yeah, have you never watched the Leroy Jenkins thing? It's literally
Oh,
what you're explaining. Because
yeah,
literally,
yeah, but
they explain everything to this guy, and then he's like, "All right, let's do this." Leroy Jenkins.
yes, but in that he sort of leads them in and they gotta all follow to try to save his ass or like, all right, well fuck the plan.
Yeah.
In this whole thing, it's like I am in this like sort of like maze area that's time locked, and essentially Prodigy and Old Ninja have to do different functions outside of this death chamber room in order for me to survive. So the pattern is like, all right, you have to turn off the gas, open the door, turn on the exhaust fans, or I'm sorry, turn off the exhaust fans, and then open the door. And meanwhile, like the floor is like electrified with water and all kinds of shit. So we after we fail a couple times, we figure out the pattern, and it goes in that specific pattern. Because if you do something wrong, then all of a sudden the gas comes back because it's very time sensitive. Old Ninja decides he wants to open the door first before venting the gas, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because I can't go into the room if the gas is there. And he's like, well, I can do it. We can do it both. And I literally say, that ain't gonna work. And he's like, sure, it's gonna work. Sure, it's gonna work. And one of my favorite quotes before we do it, I was like, mm-hmm. And Prodigy is dying laughing because he hears this. Well, you're on mute, so I can't hear you, but literally he's trying to say like, no, no, it'll work. So sure enough, we go do it, and I get trapped and I die because old ninja wants to do it his way. With Leroy Jenkins, like Leroy ran in and
Yeah.
everybody died because of him.
Gotcha.
He's literally on the outside of the room, and I die because he wants to push buttons in his own pattern, however he
Fighting.
feels like.
He's a buddy fucker is what we call it in the,
Oh,
in the
no,
military.
And then after I die, I say, he's like, oh shoot, the door, there wasn't enough time. I'm like, that's what I told you would happen if you did listen. Oh, I wasn't listening. I was like, the fuck you weren't
No,
listening. You
I
said we
said
gonna do it my way.
I said I didn't hear it.
Hey, he was Usher, bro. He was trying to do it my way.
He's like, watch this, watch this.
But then we ended up finding out once we cut off the fat, we were able to beat it without it. So once Prodigy left, we're able to two-man this fucking raid. So
Hey,
This is true.
good. More power to you. You know what I mean?
I mean,
we
we probably
would-
could have done it if you hadn't fucked it up, old ninja. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
no, we would have done it. One of the tribes we probably would have done it. But I
We were
literally
pretty
couldn't
close.
hear. I couldn't hear because there's a lot of fucking feedback from somebody's mic. The guy in the red on the screen right there.
How dare you?
So I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought
you had a Pulse headset. What's going on here, man?
I do.
And
I
that's
don't
what was
know.
fucked up.
But you
Alright.
said you said you plug it in and not. You should try using it wireless instead of plugging it in.
He
Hold
can't
on,
plug
hold
it
on.
in.
Didn't
Wait,
you
what?
just say?
You
Yeah,
plug
Yeah,
yours
I
plug
in?
do plug it.
Oh,
I
you
do
plug
plug
it
it
into your head to your controller then.
Console. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
But
To your console? You put some long ass fucking cable.
I'm sorry, no controller.
Okay.
Controller.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I've been in your house multiple times. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
nowhere near your couch.
Exactly. I was gonna say though, Stitch, you didn't have any problem hearing me.
I mean, I adjusted. That's sort of what you got to do. Comms start fucking up. You gotta listen even better.
So you
You can't be making
alright.
excuses like I can't hear shit.
I can't hear shit. It came out almost static.
You can adjust your gain on the in the app,
Yeah, absolutely.
Prodigy. So you probably like turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, because once Prodigy left, I could hear Stitch just fine. And we finished the
Prodigy knew the pattern. That would mean it was simple.
No, he didn't know. It took him a minute to get to the
I
pattern.
mean, I see mice that are able to hit like square, circle, X. It's
Oh
like
my
it's a
God.
simple thing.
Did we not beat it or no?
No, we beat it. I'm
Yeah,
down to
and
try
we
to
beat it
do
without
number
it.
3.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
started number 3. Yeah, but yeah. Whew. I mean, we got through it. We managed to. We soldiered through it. So, and I was able to hear it. And
No.
as you said, once I heard what the plan was, I adjusted, and we fucking beat it.
I
So
almost
there
made a
you go.
fucked up joke. I'm gonna make it anyway. You guys beat it like we beat Iraq.
Oh,
I'm saying that because I was in the military. Don't at me.
Mhm.
And I've been to Iraq, so fuck all y'all.
Oh, goddamn. Man, I don't think I can go to Iraq. It's too hot. I thought Bakersfield was bad.
It is pretty fucking hot there.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's not the hottest place I've been to, but it's fucking hot.
Yeah, that's-
Stitch,
And
what
cold.
what Stitch, besides actually listening and adhering to instructions on games, what are you even playing?
Wow. I mean, besides that, just listening to instructions in life. I mean, that's a general thing to sort of progress in the game of life. You got to pay attention to shit. But I digress. Other than that, what I've been playing, actually, I haven't been gaming as much as I want to. I don't know if I got onto the cast late, but did you guys talk about the Spider-Man trailer?
No, let's talk about a little bit. We talked about a little bit, but you're on, so let's talk about it even more.
Oh,
there you go.
that I was hyped. I told myself, I was like, okay, and I've said it many times, if it's something I'm going to watch or play, like a movie or a video game, I don't need to watch every trailer. Just give me a small little snip and I'm good to go. And obviously this is technically it's sort of like the second and a half Spider-Man, because the Miles Morales one, they weren't going to change the formula. It worked. Amazing game. I loved it. Platinum both of them.
Yep.
So I didn't need to see anything, and I would have easily dropped money. But it looks flawless to me. The only thing, I just hope they don't do any of those damn screwball missions. Those were annoying.
Oh, yeah, where they take pictures and shit.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. Or the little Mary Jane stuff where she's like creeping around the room, trying to hide. But it looks fun. You both got Miles, and and Parker. You can swap between the two, at least in that like clip that they showed. The combat seems to be the same. Obviously, he's in the black symbiote suit, and it based on everything what little voice stuff you heard during the trailer, it seems like Parker's starting to get taken over by it. He seems a lot more angry than normal as he's in that suit. So it pretty much falls in line with everything we've read in the books about what that suit sort of does to someone's personality. So I'm excited. The stuff with Lizard looks dope. Craven, that's gonna be fun. I got no. I'm gonna probably buy the Ultimate Edition Steelbook case, 99.99 version. Yeah.
I do the same thing for shit that I support. Get them fucking box sets.
Yep.
Kronos, you bought a goddamn $300 box set without the game though from Blizzard. That
It was
with Diablo
$300.
4.
But it definitely wasn't $70. So whatever. and
Those what?
and this the kick in the nuts is that I don't have early access. So whatever.
God damn.
Damn.
But yeah, the Spider-Man thing. Getting back to that, I think it's cool that they brought in Craven because it showed that he has his own faction. That was cool because when you play the Spider-Man games, there's obviously multiple different factions, and seeing like one of them, there's got to be at least probably I would say 3 other factions in the game besides the Craven faction. I'm looking forward to seeing like whose faction is what, and then like what the escalated faction is. Because like in the last game, the escalated faction was like, was it Silver Sable's crew?
Silver Sable, yeah.
Yeah. But she was just coming through with like wrecking shop. So we'll see.
Yeah,
it's
she was
like
doing shit. Yeah, Doc Ock was having his own little issues.
yeah, and it's always cool to like see like his his rogues gallery just like have a fucking field day in New York. And I know somebody said some of the younger generations were saying, why is it in New York again? Bitch, because that's where fucking Spider-Man is. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
and
here.
I guess they're opening up more boroughs, from my understanding, than just Manhattan.
I mean that's cool, but I mean I don't know. I have a certain kind of feelings about like certain maps, and it's just like you don't need to make games so fucking big, honestly. Because like sometimes like when they're too big, it takes forever to get places, And yeah, there's stuff there, but it's just like becomes kind of a chore to get around. But as Spider-Man, it's fun because you get to web sling and shit like that. But I think that we're okay with games that are huge. Like make them smaller, please, and put more content in them.
I was just gonna say though, I think Spidey is the exception because I've never had a game more fun to go from point A to point B.
Well, yeah, because there's web slinging. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like just New York alone is fine. Other boroughs, I know there's like 5 boroughs. I'm not super familiar with fucking New York. I've been there a couple times.
I've been there too, but now that you mention it, I feel like there's more than 5. But whatever.
No, it's 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
Is there 5?
I mean, Wu-Tang Clan, whatever.
Oh, I just saw Wu-Tang.
That's always why I know that shit. And what is it?
Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yeah, GTA, and then no, Daredevil. Another reason.
Oh yeah.
Know about the boroughs. We don't have boroughs on the West Coast. We have cities and towns and normal shit like that. Boroughs sounds like some European shit, to be honest with you. But whatever, New York, do you?
And then also with the Spider-Man game, even when you do try to fast travel, let's say you don't want a web sling, with the PS5, like it was instant. There was no loading. It was very just like you blink, oh right, you're there on the other end of town. I mean, we're sort of spoiled with it now because we've been playing the PlayStation 5, except for Old Ninja who's on PlayStation 2. But
PlayStation 4, which might feel like PlayStation 2.
On the Xbox One, I think I told you guys in the chat, with the Xbox Series X, I was like, one of the most jarring things. It's like, why do I have load screens again? Like, what is going on here? Sir.
But yeah, I was actually hoping at the showcase that they were going to do a PS5 Pro, but there's still rumors that it's still coming.
I don't even know why they would do that.
For what?
I don't know, but it's been rumored since late 2021.
I've heard the same rumor, and
we talked about it.
there's been
briefly.
like there's been no slowdown of PS5 games. You know, it loads fast as shit. I haven't had no problem with like resuming games, unlike the Xbox Series X with Halo Infinite, which I've talked about before. Um, I don't know why you would need a Pro at this point, unless I don't know. I even have like a PSVR 2,
That's
and
what I was gonna ask. I was like, is it?
no, like there's no
Uh,
it loads just fine. I don't
Well,
understand why you would need a PS5 Pro at this. Like, you need to sell me on this shit. Maybe there's like some game that's gonna like totally like kick the hardware's ass. But at this point, I don't see the point for a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
here's
So
what
I'm just like, well, we'll see. I won't be surprised if they just add. It's literally just like cosmetic features and like one extra buzz
I,
like mechanic or some bullshit.
I can guarantee you it's going to come at some point. And here's the other thing too. My old school launch PS4 is still technically running. It sounds like a fucking aircraft carrier, but it still runs. So even the PS4 Pro, and go back and rewind the clock, that had a lot of criticism for it or whatever. People are like it's not necessary. I don't
I
need
have
it. Blah
one.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to get. I guarantee you, within the next 1 to 3 years, you're going to get a PS5 Pro.
yeah.
It's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, eventually we'll evolve into that, but I don't think we're at it now or the need for it where we're seeing any issues that it's become a necessity or a desire immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't think of a game that like plays slow on the PS5. Not a single goddamn game
No.
that wasn't a port. I mean, you know, yeah,
And especially with the way these games are so massive in size and all the stuff that's going on with it, like I mean, you're playing the Call of Duty example, Warzone. You got 150 people running around doing stuff on this massive map, and I haven't had really any issues in terms of like the hardware. My PlayStation 5 like crashing. I mean, I think it's more so the game itself or the server
yeah, that's the
rather than the
thing.
actual. Yeah,
That was the only
but
thing
not the
I was
game,
just thinking about.
console.
Yeah, as you were talking about that, I was like, there has been like a huge issue recently with like a lot of games being super glitchy, but I don't think that that's the hardware's fault. I think it's just
Right.
the coding's fault.
I agree.
So
So we'll
uh,
see.
back to it. What else were you talking? Oh, Stitch. Did you not watch the? It was like what was it, 20-minute feature for Spider-Man or whatnot?
I watched the entire thing, and I didn't. I was a little bit nervous about watching because I was like, 20 minutes is long,
Yeah, it was
and
long. Yep.
yeah, and then I waited maybe like a day or a day and a half, and then I just kept seeing people posting it on Twitter. I was like, all right, I'm not going to be able to avoid this. I was like, let me see what it is. So I watched the entire thing. Um, and I was kind of mad at myself because I would have loved for some of that stuff to be sort of a surprise. Like the first time when I'm in this symbiote suit and he does that whole like lash out thing where he
Mm.
grabs like five of the people and just slams them. I would love to have like experienced that like on my own for the first time. But I mean, I'm just sort of nitpicking and watching them, I guess, chase the lizard through the water and doing all the stuff where he's knocking off people off the jet ski. Like I would have loved that because like if when I remember the first time I played the first Spider-Man game, I think it was the Spider-Man one, not the Miles Morales one. But when you have the fight with Rhino at the very
Oh, that's
beginning,
beginning. Yeah,
was that the Spider-Man one or was that the Miles Morales one?
yeah.
I think it was the Miles.
I think.
That was Miles. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So when I played that and I didn't know where I was not expecting it and I was like, this is fucking dope. And I wasn't ready for it. I was like, we're just in it.
yeah. I think there's gonna be secrets that they're not giving away, obviously, because like I was thinking about like recent, PlayStation games. I remember like with Thor Ragnarok, nobody knew about the Dropnir spear
Hmm.
in any of the fucking trailers, and that was like the best weapon in the fucking game. I had so much fun with that fucking weapon, just like spearing the shit out of people. So yeah, I think I think they're keeping their. They got to show some of their hand to get new gamers to buy the game, but I have a feeling that they've shown literally like what, two villains. There's probably gonna be at least fucking five, at
Yeah.
least five. Um, they're gonna have a whole host of new abilities. They showed some of them off, but they're gonna hold back others. So I think you're gonna be okay with like the stuff that they showed. Because we all, and honestly, the symbiote suit, we all know he gets symbiote suit.
Yeah.
What if he gets a fucking cosmic suit? You don't know. So
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah, we see
Uh,
because we've seen Venom, we've seen Craven, and then obviously Lizard.
Here,
Um,
here, here's another thing that I hope they do keep hidden if it is true in the game. The first game, they alluded to characters like Black Panther and Doctor Strange and Iron Man and all of that. We may see some fucking cameos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Wolverine is being made by the same goddamn studio. Maybe there is a Captain America in this. You know, not saying you fight and side by side with them, but what if there is fucking Steve Rogers or Tony Stark or whoever the fuck in there? I want to be surprised. I'm right there with y'all. Like,
what if? So you remember how in certain parts, as Stitch alluded to, there's parts of the game where you play as Mary Jane. What if
mhm.
they kind of take that out and replace it to where you play as Gwen Stacy?
Spider Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Spider Gwen.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, those are two different characters most of the
I
time, not all the
thought
time.
I thought on that trailer when they show the map where Craven's like talking about like a new hunting ground, I thought her face appears on there because I looked at that part. I was like, oh, this is an
Mm.
Easter egg,
It
and
would be
I
cool.
thought I saw her on there.
I mean, to play as Spider Gwen, I think a lot of people would be excited about, and
Oh
it
yeah.
would definitely be a surprise if you don't see it coming. All of a sudden, you switch to her, and her story kind of like is like the B story to like the overall Spider Man.
I mean, if they did that where you can switch between like multiple Spider people, obviously you have Miles and Peter, but if Spider Gwen's in the mix too, then you would literally have like the GTA 5 of Spider Man games.
Yep.
And that would be fucking amazing. Like that put it at an 11 for me. I mean, out of 10 because that'd be cool.
Yep.
I remember like hearing the concept of GTA 5, where like you could possibly change between characters. I was like, that didn't make any fucking sense. Like, how would you even do that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this could be potentially huge. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Wolverine in the game to kind of set up his game
Hmm.
just a little bit, alluding to not like. I mean, it'd be also weird if
Is
we
it
get to play as him too.
is it the same studio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
I believe
studio.
it's Sony.
Okay.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in the game.
Maybe, but I mean, I'm down for the whole Spider-Man. I mean, the whole Wolverine story to let them tell their own story. Like I'm excited to see where they'll go with that. I hope it's a violent, um, bloodier game. I don't know if it's going to be rated M. I hope so. Um, but I think once you merge at least the way that the Spider-Man game has been going, where it's a little bit more kid friendly. It's not a mature game at all. Yeah, you're throwing people off the roof, but like Wolverine, I want to be impaling people. I want blood. I want decapitations. I want violence. I think it's hard to, yeah, maybe you can have Wolverine's name get mentioned or something, but I'm anxious and excited to see what story they're going to tell with that because we haven't really gotten anything except like a CGI teaser for the Wolverine game.
I was trying to think like, has Insomniac made a shitty game and a shitty console game? I have to preface that. I never played Disruptor. Because I was looking '96. I don't really know that game, but it was basically Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, Fall of Man. Which holy shit, can they please remake that? There's another game too that is along that same thing. Can't remember the name of the game though. The studio that made Horizon Zero Dawn, they,
Gorilla.
Gorilla
Guerrilla
Gorilla.
Games. What was the game they made before that? It was like a first-person shooter.
Killzone.
Killzone, yes. You revive Killzone and Resistance. Those are two fantastic games franchises. So yeah, they did Resistance, Sunset Overdrive, Fuse, which is kind of underrated, and then a bunch of like fucking mobile games. And then now they're kind of they're getting back to Spider-Man and like console games again. So yeah, every game that they've made that was for like consoles has been hit after hit after hit.
Yep. Yep.
That's
And
good.
don't sleep on the fact that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was fantastic.
Oh, I played the shit out of that game. The game is dope.
So we're gonna fucking see, man. I'm hyped. I got a feeling that this one is gonna sell up there with Call of Duty, Zelda, and Hogwarts like numbers, if not more. Like, because here's the other thing too, and I'm glad you're on here, Stitch. We're right about to have Into the Spider Verse 2 drop.
That's what I was gonna try to tease us into or lead us into. That's
Go
on
ahead.
Thursday. I was looking at movie times yesterday. I'm trying to see when I can see it early showing. Um, it and they even got IMAX. I don't know how it'll appear in IMAX, but I might drop some money just to go see it. Like I'm excited for it. Um, I I've been pretty good about seeing any sort of trailers. I saw the one. I know that there's going to be plenty of Spider people in it. I don't know where they're going with the story, but I'm all here for it. So
Yeah,
it should be fun.
let me just say this too, because obviously I do think Spider Gwen is very, very cool. Miles Morales' Enter the Spider Verse made Gwen Stacy cool again. Like
It opened it up to a mainstream people that weren't reading the books.
Gwen, for all of our comic reading lives, was pretty much dead. Like she died way back in the day. Green Goblin infamously killed her. That was it. She was Peter's other dead girlfriend. Mary Jane was always the go-to. This fucking flipped the script with alternate realities and made her this cool teenage chick with ballerina shoes on that's just as cool as Miles and or Peter. That was fucking legendary. And she may even have the coolest costume in the fucking movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I, I can't wait. Um, the other thing, and again, this is no spoiler or whatever, but just from the trailers alone, we're getting a whole lot of Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara,
Yeah.
who's a fucking spider ninja, futuristic, cyberpunk motherfucker. And we get one of my favorite Spideys, another black Spider-Man, who is Hobby Brown, Spider Punk.
Yeah.
So uh, this is gonna be a fucking huge hit. I just can't fucking wait.
I'm interested to see the 2099 Spider-Man. I just never he never really grabbed my attention during the like just reading books and stuff like that. So and that's just on me. It's not like his fault. I just the suit never really appealed to me, so I didn't read much of his stories or anything. So I'm glad he's getting some spotlight because obviously he has a legit strong fan base as well. So I'm interested to know more about him and see the story that they're going to tell with him and
Yeah.
how he plays into this because it almost I don't know if he's going to be a villain or some sort of anti-hero in this, but I mean, just what I remembered in the trailer I watched, it seemed like he's rubbing some people the wrong way, which I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Plus, they got, I think Poe Dameron is doing his voice acting work. So I'm fucking down.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac. Yeah, he will be the voice of
His name is Poe. That's what I will always call that man.
whatever.
So yeah, I'm gonna get fucking hyped for it. Now, Stitch, I got a question for you. Did you take your daughter to see Little Mermaid, or is she too young?
I have not formally brought her to a movie yet. So she has not seen it. Recently, like as of maybe the past like 2 3 weeks, we've been watching a little bit more Disney type movie. She's really big into like the cartoons.
Oh yeah.
We were watching Moana and like Zootopia the other day, so she's kind of progressed, and she was fascinated. She was watching Frozen, just like glued to the TV and stuff. So I
Mhm.
haven't brought her to an actual movie theater, just because I don't know how long her attention will hold, if she'll be focused on the screen or even know what's going on. But from what I understand, it's making money hand over fist.
Yep.
People mad. Don't matter they mad because they just like that meme where the guy's just holding the money to his phone. He's like, or to his head. He's like, I can't hear you. All these bricks of money is just too loud in my ear. But yeah, Little Mermaid's just making all the money.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, see how you haven't shown her the cartoon one yet, though, right?
No, she's yeah, yeah. So I mean, even if she watched the live one, I don't think she would realize what's going on. She'd just be glued to the TV, just like enjoying watching the mermaids on TV and stuff.
Yeah, be a responsible dad though. Do not take her to see Evil Dead Rise. Don't do that.
No, 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 no.
God dang,
Jesus Christ.
dang. Oh bad.
All right. What else y'all got? What else happened this week, goddamn? Where else we gonna go?
There's a oh well, there's all kind of stuff. We didn't really go heavily into this because I feel like this is still kind of ongoing. But what was going on with Jamie Foxx? So we're getting like intermittent news. We're getting um, conflicting stories between the media and his family. Uh, Apparently, I feel like every week we get a different update. Have y'all been following this news and whatnot?
Yeah, I followed it a little bit, and I think that he's really just trying. Him and his family are trying to just stay private about his current health affair. I guess current health status. So I'll leave it at that. I'll respect, you know, whatever he's going through. I hope he recovers because he's a really prolific entertainer. I mean, there's very few people that can sing, act, fucking dance. He does goddamn everything. The dude knew fucking, I don't know, like the five finger death punch. I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, the dude went from being like a DJ on In Living Color to like just being like a huge draw for everything he's been in. It's
And yeah, it went from DJ to Oscar-winning fucking actor.
does he have
Yeah.
an EGOT? I don't know if he does.
I don't think that's an EGOT.
I
I don't
thought he
think
got one for Ray.
no
Uh,
EGOT.
EGOT,
So
yeah.
Emmy, Grammy,
He's got to be
Oscar,
close.
maybe. I don't
Yeah.
think he's Tony. I don't think he's done any. I mean, knowing him, he probably has done Broadway, but I don't think he's won a Tony yet.
He's close,
Hmm.
apparently.
So he doesn't have an Oscar.
No,
I
he
th-
has an Oscar. He has
Oh,
an Oscar.
okay. I thought you were saying no, he did. Okay.
No, he does an EGOT, which is
he's got an Oscar for. Oh, he just needs a Tony and an Emmy. So yeah,
there you go.
There-
because he hasn't done any daytime
TV
like
series.
show stuff. Yeah, he's got an Oscar for Ray and 2 Grammys for Gold Digger. It's a fantastic song, and Blame It, another fantastic
Uh,
song.
so I mean, he doesn't have to do a daytime show. He can do a nighttime miniseries and still get an Emmy. So
Okay,
That's true.
well, yeah,
you know, a lot of so there's a shit ton of A-list actors that are doing like TV series and getting Emmys. Like you got Ryan Philippe, who's doing that FBI drama one. We've seen Kevin Bacon do like 50, 11 of them. Chris Evans, he did that short for HBO. Um, there's just like so many of them that are going doing these like mini series on cable, either cable streaming or network. I don't know if you guys saw the Stephen King or not. Yeah, the Stephen King like it was a mini series on HBO about it's like a doppelganger creature. It was like killing people and taking their places, and they had this like weird psychic chick that she's the chick who plays Harriet Tubman in Underground, and
I never saw that one.
or no, she does the movie, not the series, but she plays Harriet Tubman in the movie, and she's in a couple of films. But it's her, the guy who plays Krennic from Rogue One, and Jason Bateman. There's a couple other stars in it. It was weird because it was a horror kind of horror thriller, but it was really dramatic because you don't know who to trust at one point. It was actually really
Yeah.
good,
Nice.
but
yeah. Sorry, I'm going through like the list of like who's close to the EGOT status, and there's like a bunch of people.
of course.
Mhm.
And I don't know why they put Taylor Swift as number one, because she's missing two. So is Jamie Foxx. She's missing two. He's missing two as well. He's missing a Tony and Emmy, but who's really close that is like one away is like Elton John. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
one
that makes
away.
sense.
He's got 2 Oscars. He's got 6 fucking Grammys,
Mm.
and he has a Tony. And I'm not going to count Neil Patrick Harris or Justin Timberlake, but Adele is apparently she just needs a Tony.
Goddamn.
She's got an Oscar for Skyfall, 9 Grammys for
Oh yeah.
all her fucking music, and an Emmy for Adele One Night Only. Yeah, so
Good
she
for
just needs a
her.
fucking Tony. Yeah, just that's pretty cool.
Blowing it up, man.
And
Yeah,
Donald
but
Glover's on there too.
God damn it, Donald Glover's so fucking talented.
Yeah, he's very talented. Like I didn't know like Childish Gambino was Donald Glover for like the longest time. I was like, why do they look the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Humpty Hump and Shock G. Never mind.
Yeah.
We went through this before, and I was mistaken. It was the Piano Man because he's the Piano Man too.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Stitch. Speaking of TV, what did you think of the finale of Snowfall?
Oh jeez. Oh, Snowfall was so good. I was glad you were able to catch up because when I watched it, I was like, I gotta talk to somebody about this. But even leading up to it, where they ran the train on a homegirl, the prison train. They got the homeboys that just got out of the jail, and they're like, "Yeah, we gonna run this train on this chick." I was like, "Oh wow, they're actually going there with this." I was like, "Am I watching HBO or is this FX?" Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
then they burned the initials. Key burned the K into her chest and everything. I was like, I was so conflicted and so mad at what's that bitch's name?
Louis.
Louis. Yeah, because one, she got Jerome killed and everything because her dumbass trying to be greedy. Drum's like, yo, I'm ready to be out. Like, what are we in this for? It's like this is just too much. Blah blah blah. And she's like, nah, I want the power. Blah 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 blah. Then then she ends up getting Jerome fucking murdered. But it was such a good from beginning to end. It was a really good story. It had a couple little weird parts in it for where I don't think it's like on the wire level. Um, but it was really good. Just really solid writing, really good time in that time period of 80s, 90s, um, Los Angeles with drugs, police, stuff going on with the government. It was a really well told story with all the characters, all the moving parts, and it put a nice bow on everything at the end of it. Some people got out, some people ended up going to jail, some people ended up getting killed. It was just amazing, really good story writing. And then I completely forgot at the beginning, looking back on it was John Singleton's baby
Yep.
until he had passed away. I forget what season was he passed away in it, but it was just a really good, awesome storytelling TV show, and that I would highly recommend. And it's an easy marathon watch for anybody that's wants to just binge watch some stuff. It's great, absolutely great.
Yeah. Shout out to John Singleton. Shout out to John Singleton. I really love this one. Um, I will say this: all these actors did a phenomenal job. I thought it was pretty well written. Some wonky parts towards the very, very end, but this was unlike any of those. I like to shit on the 50 Cent uh, stars fucking
Power
for,
and
Power.
yeah. This is better. It's just better than any of that crap. Um, FX as a channel tends to always do well. They obviously I loved Atlanta as well, but Snowfall fucking stuck with me like very few fucking shows did, and I really like that actor that played Franklin. I want him to be in all the fucking other shows. I don't know, Marvel, DC, whatever it is, but yeah, this show went all the way there with the crack epidemic and all the things that caused it, the government, the CIA, LAPD, informants, and it
Prodigy.
showed
Hold
it
on.
through a fun lens.
I just have a single question for you. Is
What's
it
up?
better than Andor?
I'd say it's because, no, I'm going to say it's 2/10 of a point below. Two
Okay.
tenths of a
That's pretty
point
fucking high.
below.
'Cause I need a new show.
Yeah,
I probably can't watch that with K, but check it out
because
though.
I'd give Andor like a 9.998, and this is like a 9.596.
All
You
right.
know?
and I'm a really big fan of projects that like tell their story and they're done. They
Yep.
don't sort of let it
Yeah.
drag on just because this is a like Walking Dead, for example. Like, yeah, we're
Yep.
getting a bazillion views and stuff, but the story is just run dry and like you lose interest. Like, they told their story. If it had been another season, I would have easily watched it, but they stuck the landing. They told the story that they needed to tell from Franklin from beginning as just this sort of like nerdy kid, and then he gets involved with making the money, becomes sort of a kingpin, the ups and downs of it, the going with the FBI or the CIA aspect of it, then the other governments, and then it crumbles, and then you just see his whole character evolve and the people around him, and they they wrap a bow on it, and they're like, "This is our story. We're done." They could have easily dragged it on for a couple other seasons, made a shit ton more money if they wanted to, but I think it would have diluted the project as a whole. And I think they did an amazing job of telling what they needed to be told.
Also, for a story that takes place in the 80s, they don't go anywhere close to any nostalgia shit. It's not like Stranger Things in terms of, oh, remember Ghostbusters? No, they don't give a shit about that. Like, it's 90%
It's
just
like,
real life fucking drama.
do you remember crack?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't hammer over your head with it. They just you're there. Like it's like like this is the vibe. This is exactly what's going on. Just even like the background, the color, just all of it's like that's Southern California, 80s. Boom. It's chef's kiss. Perfect.
Yeah. Good shit, man. All right, what else? What else we got on this goddamn list? Anything
We didn't talk about.
worth?
Have we ever talked about Chat GPT?
No, we didn't talk about any of that at all.
Have y'all? I guess I'll take the stage on this one. Have y'all
Right.
used Chat GPT at all, or like wondered about
I
it?
have.
You have?
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
know what it
used
is.
yet.
Oh,
So basically, it's a large language model. It's what they call AI. I'm putting it in quotes because I don't think it's real AI. I think it's just a really good fucking search engine that can crawl the internet really well. However, there are like some legit concerns about like this basically being on the same level as like nuclear bomb technology. And I didn't really understand like why it would be on that level until I listened to like the Godfather of AI really break it down on like his main concerns about. I got to find the guy's name. His main concerns about AI and like the reason why he stopped working at Google. God damn it, my fucking keywords aren't working. Godfather of AI. The guy's name is Jeffrey Hinton. That's
Does he look anything like the guy on the Matrix, the old man at the end?
he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Oh,
He does
damn
not.
it!
Unfortunately, yeah,
he's not damn.
that'd be hilarious if it did though. Yeah, I understand like the concerns about AI now, about what he and some other people are talking about. So I don't consider ChatGPT AI at this point at all. I think what it does do is it like I said looks through the internet for like answers that it's basically like a really good autocorrect. So you can ask it questions, it'll give you answers that are mostly correct, but they also have what's called hallucinations, which is basically I don't like the way that they kind of humanize just being wrong. Like they're errors in the code. Of like you'll ask them like you'll ask ChatGPT or these large language models a question, and they'll just make up shit. So I think saying hallucination like makes it seem like it's a human brain that's like just hallucinating, but no, it's just like the code is bad, and they don't understand like what the fuck you're asking, so they just make up shit. Um, but yeah, this could literally be a really big issue, especially in America, because there's a lot of dumb fucking people in America,
Yeah.
and that will just believe fucking anything, especially if it has to do with like anything that like agrees with their current ideology. And I think that that's incredibly dangerous, especially right now in America. And we already know why. I could just point to January 6th because people are fucking morons, and people still believe that shit that happened that we literally all saw live happen on January 6th. They think that that never happened, and the fucking the guy that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth is an entrepreneur, and he was the president, and that he's still the president. That guy's name is Donald Trump. He's not the president. He's not an entrepreneur. He didn't start from nothing. But ChatGPT has a potential of like furthering misinformation like that through quote unquote hallucinations. Because what happens when this is the one of the powerful things about large language models is that you can ask it to research and write an article about something, and it can do that. It can do its own research. It can write a whole article out for you. It can literally write a fucking podcast. if you wanted it to. But if the podcast is based upon information that is false, then that's a problem. And if it writes a false article or a false whatever, and it can basically like source itself as the source to make it seem more legit to a moron, like it's super easy to believe, and it just gets worse from there. So the guy Jeffrey Hinton, he worked at Google. He's the one that figured out kind of the base model of AI and trying to make a neural network out of a computer network, and using computations. When he was at Google, because he sold himself in like two of his, I don't want to say sold himself. He got hired by Google and a bunch of other companies to run AI for them, to like set it up for them. And then the military apparently got wind of AI, and they wanted to use AI to do target acquisitions. And I was like, hold the fuck on. Like, that's super bad. We have movies about this. Like, we can't do this, right? And so he was like, he was a VP at Google at the time. And he's like, yeah, if you do it, like, I'm all out if you guys are going to, like, even consider doing this. And so he got Google to say no. However, like, the information's out there already, like, for AI, and it's self kind of propagating. And at some point, militaries are going to get this information on, like, how to basically build a network that can just, because you already see it now. Like, just think about, I have a Google One, and so me and Kay, we share pictures together through, and it's automated. So like when we take pictures of ourselves and of our daughter, and of both of our daughters, it'll automatically like share between each other. Like, hey, these are your faces. We're gonna share these pictures with each other. Think about that same thing of like taking pictures or taking videos, especially drone footage of people, and like saying, hey, I want this person dead, and here's the picture of this person. And they just troll the internet and find out what this person is, and then it's pretty fucking easy to like put a gun on basically anything, and that person will be dead through just facial recognition.
Well,
And
remember, if you have Hannibal Burris and you want him dead, Old Ninja's going to die too.
yeah, he's gonna die
Like,
too.
you know that, and I know
two
that.
birds with
You know
one
what I
stone.
mean?
It is what it is.
Go ahead, shit, Scarlett.
It's essentially, if you can manipulate the people at masses to believe something, whether it's true or not, I mean, that's how you start fucking wars and shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's essentially what it is. And I mean, we, in a weird way, because we were still developing our understanding and trust in computers, that we expected them to be truthful because they're programmed that way. When I type in something in a calculator, if I type 8 times 9, it should give me the accurate answer of 72 every fucking time. But if the calculator, for whatever reason, decides, whatever, it's 79 this time, or whatever, then at what point do we know what's true and what's not true?
Yep.
And then it just becomes a big, everyone arguing with each other and pointing fingers in terms of like what's right, what's wrong. And that obviously leads into a shit ton of problems, especially with like ideology, political stuff. By far, I mean, people see something on internet, YouTube, fucking TikTok, and they're like, oh, I saw it on TikTok, it must be true, or whatever the fuck it is. And they use that to circumvent their ability to educate themselves and think by actually researching stuff rather than just absorbing what's told to them.
Can I just say one quick thing? Yes, these are legitimate concerns about new technology. I get where both of you guys are coming from. But have y'all seen the AI art in terms of porn? The hentai.
He was going with that.
He was going there.
I knew it. Here we go.
Literally, I can live in an interspecies reviewers type of world, and I'm happy with that. So you can take away ChatGPT, fine. Leave me my AI hentai. Don't mess with that shit.
That's gonna be gone too.
AI
But,
hentai might be the name of this podcast. I'm just saying.
Oh man. I feel like we've already kind of seen this before, but instead of AI, it was a person that they barely identified, or I think this person was identified. So y'all remember, I don't know, 2019, 2020. There's this guy, he put on this video. It was on YouTube. It's how it started. And he told everybody through a bunch of like edited pictures, because he doesn't show his face, but it's like a bunch of edited pseudoscience stuff that the world is flat. And it started this huge motion that yeah, the world is flat. So then we have literally, I want to say tens of thousands, hopefully not hundreds of thousands, but
It's
we have
probably
tens of
millions. Let's be
thousands.
real.
Oh damn! So we had like a lot of people that went to a seminar that they paid for, mind you, to hear this person say the world is flat and here's why. Not a whole lot of science fact or whatnot, just a bunch of images. And I feel like we've already been hit with this. This has just evolved into GPT. And
Yeah, I mean,
I know Facebook bought one of these companies that does this. Um, there's a couple more that are out there. It's just gonna. I know a lot of people that are looking at this. They're like, "This is just Skynet, like in its infancy." And I'm like, if you put any type of like AI technology that can evolve and learn, and put this in one of those Boston Dynamic like exosuits, we're in trouble.
uh,
100%.
I, I I think it's more about it's hurting people of like minds, regardless of whatever the fuck it is that they believe, to find their own groups and multiply their numbers. I mean,
Like my
cults have
hentai
been
group. Right. Sorry.
I mean, cults have been around for fucking ever and stuff. They didn't have as easy of a way to amplify their followings as they do now in terms of being able to just go into forums, chat groups, um, websites, and being able to find other like-minded people. But now with this technology that AI can automatically start hurting people and being like, oh, you like this? Here's some other people that like the same batshit crazy shit that you do and
Yeah,
stuff.
we just
And
fed you both.
yeah, now all of a sudden it's like they got a legit fucking squad. And like you said before, January 6th was a fucking prime example of the tea kettle, the pot boiling over a little bit. And could it have been worse? Yes. Might it be worse in the future? Who knows? We'll see. But it's dangerous, and I mean, people to this day still don't take that as serious as it was.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. It's just like, yeah, it could have been like way worse. And I think the next time if they try to do it again, like it probably will be because I mean it's like they gave you the framework of just if you got enough white people,
Oh damn!
like
Damn!
honestly, like seriously, I mean that was the vast majority of them that were there. And yes, they're being prosecuted now. Like thank you for like taking fucking forever to prosecute these people. Like I don't imagine Stitch. I mean, you're in law enforcement. Could you? Like, it doesn't take that long to fucking when you have somebody on video that's committing a literal crime to put the to like first of all like indict not even indict just arrest them to arrest them
I
have them post bail or whatever throw them in jail whatever doesn't take that long.
it doesn't make sense to me. The only thing that I can even it's not even big. I mean, essentially, you have a massive fucking crime scene with hundreds of thousands of people there. Okay, I get that. But if you can identify that person A is there, this is his face, we confirm that's his identity, and he's walking through fucking whoever's office, shitting on the desk, doing whatever, that should be an open and shut case. You decide, I mean, I can think of it on a smaller scale, working in like a, obviously not a federal level, but we write up the report, identify the person, interview them if they want to be interviewed. They give their statement, yes, no, whatever, and I submit it to the district attorney, and they decide how they're going to go forward pressing charges or not. Essentially, that's what should have happened with all these hundreds of thousands of people. And I understand yeah, maybe it'll get log jammed because you have hundreds of thousands of people doing some crazy illegal shit. But it should just be a nice little easy assembly line of all right, that you have an excuse? No, okay, blah blah blah. All right, sentence, boom. And I understand that the okay, maybe it'll cause a strain on the prison population, but that's some treasonous shit that was going on, and I can't think of a better example to set.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, hey, how about this is an easy solution to the prison strain? Just let everybody out for minor drug crimes that have no violent records. Let them out of jail and replace them with these fucking treasonous assholes. Super easy. Like the thing that I have a problem with when it comes to like the prison system is like people swear that like especially when it comes to like gun laws is like people are like, oh, you're gonna make more gun laws, but those don't work. I'm like, I'm sorry, but 2.2 million people in jail seem to disagree that laws in America don't fucking work. We literally have the largest prison population in the fucking world, and you're telling me if we make more gun laws they wouldn't work? Like, no. Like, America's literally proving you wrong every fucking day, and I'm totally like not on the side for more people in jail. For like for minor shit. Like I don't give a shit about drug crimes personally. When it comes to like violent acts, then yeah, you need to like be reformed. Like you need to serve some time and be reformed. So, and that's my main thing is be reformed, not just throwing you in a fucking hole and like not rehabilitate you at all. So,
I would just like to see the making of, like copying interspecies reviewers over and over again. Like that shouldn't be illegal if I sell those on the street. It really should.
I think that
I'm
should
just
be
saying.
the jail sentence. Is like you with the eyes totally open. You have to watch that over and over again for like your term.
Dude, you know what? They need to make a season two. Gonna have one of them. What's the girl? Jenbot,
Oh, Jenny
Jen
Mod.
Craft,
Any
Jenny
mod?
Mod.
Jenny Mod.
Yeah, yeah. She's coming. I know it. I know it.
Did they
Terrible.
announce the date for Black Mirror? I saw that.
Yeah,
I
they
guess
did.
they.
I dropped the
Yeah,
trailer. It's coming out in
it's in
July
June.
15th, I think.
I thought it was
Can't
June.
wait.
Was it June 15th, maybe?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it's like June 15th or 19th or something.
Hold on.
It's coming pretty quick.
Y'all better get ready because the last time when they had that fucking striking vipers, what was that shit?
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah, your boy Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 15th, it is. Yeah.
No, wait, that's not Falcon. That's Clarence.
Oh,
You know what it is.
damn.
Speaking
All
of
right,
Clarence,
guys.
hold on, real quick. Speaking of Clarence, there's a Clarence type story. Did y'all hear about the Target shit? How like people were getting mad about Target and like
Oh,
their
we
Briefly.
should talk about this. Yeah, we should talk
Briefly,
about it.
I kind of
Yeah.
squawked the Ricks. I'm
Actually,
like,
I was in Target yesterday and I saw some stuff. I was like, oh, this is. I was like, I just want to hang out here and just watch people get mad. I was like, this is gonna be good.
So there was a person from like the right wing of people, the crazy folks at this point in time. They went to
yeah,
Target and they were like trying to point out like all these things in Target that were like trying to promote trans things with kids. But like I was watching the video and I was like, well, first of all, like there were things that were like close to the kids section for like tucking or whatever, but they were like obviously not kid sizes because they were like really big clothes. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you even doing? Super weird. The other shit was like just clothes that had like LGBTQ like wording on them or whatever. I'm like, I don't really give a shit about that like at all. Um, and apparently there was like this group of like just like this rap group that made a music video about Target, and it's like number one on iTunes or whatever. But like I guess like the main guy that made it, he's like the grandson of like a billionaire that started fucking Auto Trader, and so he's not from like the streets at all. He's like literally fucking Clarence,
No, geez.
and yeah, he's just basically just like riding this fucking bullshit, anti woke wave, because people are just they're all in their feelings for shit that literally doesn't affect them at all, because they think that drag queens are raping kids and not clergy people for some reason.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, the church has been getting away with that stuff for years and years and years. I will say this: you don't have to buy or like everything that's in a major retailer. Like, you literally, you don't. nobody's forcing you to go in there. Nobody's forcing you to buy stuff. Now, on the flip side, Target has lost some real money. Like there's been a tangible fiscal impact for this, and it's been big. Like it's not as small time as people want to play it out to be. The last report I saw as of like Thursday or Friday of last week, they were talking about close to $9 billion with a V in revenue dip, which I know Target is still a multi-billion-dollar company and all of that, but that's still a drop. So
Why
we
do
will
they
see.
care? Like,
Yeah,
what? Like, why are they so invested and be like, oh, Bud Light, you done fucked up now. You're gonna lose all the money. Like, if Bud Light wants to, whatever, make that decision and take
but
a hit
but
in their stock,
but,
they're gonna be all right. Like,
but you know what's funny though? Both Bud Light and Target, this is not the first year that they've had Pride stuff. Neither one of them.
Yeah.
They've had
Okay.
it for a long, long time.
Hmm.
I think it's kind of what Kronos alluded to. They just seized upon it right now. Now, I will say this though, going back to the whole children's clothing or whatever, I couldn't tell what was real or what was not in terms of kids' clothes versus adult clothes. Sometimes women's clothes look like kids' clothes to me.
Well,
You know
because
what I mean?
especially
To
when they're
me,
extra small, it's like,
yeah.
it's like,
I,
come on.
I can't definitively tell. I don't care that much, but I if a big if with a whole bunch of asterisks, if that's true, that they had that, then obviously somewhere in their marketing research team, they found some or thought that they found some audience for that type of swimwear, if that is for children,
Well,
and that's a big if.
and if it is, it's 100% none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what kind of underwear your kid wears. Like, I don't like. I don't think any rational adult should care about what other kids' underwear, what they. Like, why do you give a fuck? Like, seriously, is that the downfall of society? No. And if you want to say like the stupid argument of like, oh well, all these other civilizations they had like a rise in like gayness. No, you know what they had a rise of? Violence against them. And it definitely wasn't a violent. It wasn't a bunch of fucking gay dudes with fucking spears and guns that was just fucking shooting up and stabbing them. It was some fucking warrior motherfuckers that want to take their shit. It wasn't because of gay people. So just stop with that bullshit.
I,
this
I
this
go ahead.
isn't going anywhere because you have the what's it called, the ringleader of the Tiki Torches, Mr. DeSantis,
Yeah.
uh, leading this march, and we're going to be hearing him for a while over the next year and a half, however long this whole thing goes, and that's his campaign talking point is battling the wokeness and stuff. Him going to war against that, Disney, Target, Bud Light, whatever. And he's gonna make it again to be a Florida versus the world type thing. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon in terms of us having these conversations about ridiculous shit that is supposedly affecting the masses, because that seems to be his talking point with people like him, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, those clown show motherfuckers. That's their pony, and that's the one that they're trying to ride all the way up to the presidency over the next year. So get ready.
I will say, like, if either Trump or DeSantis is the nominee for the Republicans, I'm gonna, because obviously the Democrats are not putting. It's gonna be Biden again, and I don't like Biden at all. But if it's either one of those two motherfuckers, I will vote for Biden. Especially if it's DeSantis. If it's DeSantis, I will 100% vote for Biden.
I'm
Yeah,
just interested
And
to
I don't even
watch
like the dude.
DeSantis and Trump go at it because that's going to just be
Oh, I
hilarious
don't think
on
that.
so many
I don't
levels.
think
It's
Trump is
there.
going to debate at all.
I don't think he'll debate, but it'll just be funny watching that side of the political wing try to
well, I could
punch each other in the face, and I'm just going to be eating my
Yeah.
popcorn.
I could see. I slightly disagree. I could see Trump getting on the debate stage with him. and doing his mocking, doing his insults, calling him names, all that other stuff, and a whole lot of mudslinging. I could see him getting on stage because it's a chance to have an audience, you know. But it, it's going to be a show. It's going to be a big show.
He I can see that as well because I it doesn't matter what the fuck he says, and I think
Correct.
everyone knows it doesn't matter the substance for what Trump says. They're just there for the fucking spectacle of it. You had him say fucking was it stand by or whatever, Proud Boys stand
Yeah.
by and shit, and people are like, well, they're just it's like the Pied Piper just playing the fucking flute, and they're just marching along with it. They don't object to anything he says, anything he does. He was convicted of a civil suit involving sexual
Sexual.
battery.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care. He's still going to be a nominee, which is mind blowing that somebody not only was accused but convicted in a civil court of
And he's getting sued
sexually.
again for the same fucking
Yeah,
thing for it was defamation
they
and
don't care.
yeah.
They don't fucking care, and it's going to be funny watching those two go at it because you have people, and I mean, obviously, I was in Louisiana last week, and I didn't see as many, but there's still people flying around Trump flags. It's like,
Yep.
how do you wrap your brain around like, yo, this is the dude I'm riding with.
The guy that
Obviously,
raped people.
Two,
nothing is
two,
changing their mind.
Oh,
And
Prodigy.
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, two quick things. And again, I'm not talking about the entire group, but I want to be really clear on some things. Trump called in his before he was elected in 2016
Yeah, remember this.
Mexicans rapists and criminals and evil. Blah. He said a whole lot of anti-Latino things. DeSantis signed an immigration bill, very anti-Latino. They a large portion, over 50% of the Latino base, is still voting for and supporting those men.
I can tell you why.
Well, I do want to hear why, but I was also going to say this really quickly too. A substantial portion of the white conservative female base has still supported Trump.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And despite the civil court with rape conviction, despite terrible things he said about women and all this other stuff, I need people to, as a group, not individuals, but as a group, understand that elections will have consequences. And if you, as a group, are continuing to support someone who heinously does things against you and says things against you in public over and over and over again, then there's just no hope. I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead.
It's last place aversion. This is
Oh.
100% what this comes down to. Last place aversion. The people, the Latino people that are totally for Trump, they're guess what they're against? Illegal immigration because they're in last
Mhm.
place. The people that happen to be, of African descent that are voting for him, they're trying to make sure that the people that are the bad black people that are going to be down, staying in the ghettos because they're the last place aversion. They don't want to be fucking last. They want to make sure that they're tying their fucking ropes to this white savior to pull them out of wherever they are because they don't want to be in last place. That's the main thing when it comes to like all of these. I hate to use because I don't want to slur them, but they are kind of pieces of shit. Because they just want to make sure that they're just not in last place and fuck the person that is last. Just kick them on the way down. People that actually need fucking help. But those same people, they might need help at some point in their lives too. Like, look at this last goddamn this negotiation about the debt ceiling, which is kind of bullshit, which is totally bullshit. Because they literally already debated about the actual budget. They already have a budget. They stuck to the budget. This debt ceiling bullshit, and then negotiating what's in the budget now. It's bullshit because they literally already had a budget already built for all of Congress and America that they all voted on and they agreed to, and now they're trying to pull shit back. And the latest thing is trying to take benefits away that what me and you all paid for, and it's making sure that what was the main one? It was so that people that were on like welfare and Medicare and Medicaid had work requirements. The work requirements are bullshit. Do you know where that money goes? The vast majority of it, it goes towards private corporations that are paid to make sure that these people are trying to work or working the minimum amount of hours. So it's 20 hours, which is also they're paying other corporations to pay them less than what they're actually worth, rather than giving the people that actually need this money their actual money. And you can look it up. Look up private fucking welfare or SNAP, companies. They're out there. There's a bunch of them, and they're making millions of dollars of our taxpayer money that should be going towards people that actually need it. And instead, that the people that need it have to jump through hoops and get paid less money than what they would have gotten paid them if they hadn't had to deal with this bullshit at all.
Yep.
And people are just okay with that. There's a whole bunch of other concessions they had to do too. And these are people that literally need it, but those are the last place people. And that's where people don't want to be. And that's why they vote for these stupid ass motherfuckers that want to uptalk. Oh yeah, there's trickle down economics. Fucking bullshit. Because we all make money. How much money do you give to charity? Anybody that's on this fucking podcast. Anybody that's on this podcast. It's probably very little. I can tell you literally, I can only say this, it's kind of ironic, but last week I gave over $1,000 to charity. But it shouldn't be mandatory. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the charity I gave to was obviously, the full disclosure, is for a company that I'm on the board for. It's Rescue Residents. So just to make sure that we're getting off we're making shit better. But, these people that don't want to be in last place, then do something about it. Don't put your future in the hands of corrupt politicians because you don't want to be in last place. Don't shit on somebody that is in a worse spot than you, that you might have been in your lifetime, and that you might have gotten a hand up for because of a corporate, or a government program, and just throw them to the wayside because this one person is. What is he giving you? You personally, what is he giving you? Fucking nothing.
Makes me feel good. Good. Go ahead.
I was say you definitely hit the nail on the head when you talked about elections have consequences. We're still reaping the disaster effects of the 2016 election in terms of Trump putting people in the Supreme Court, overturning a bunch of shit with all his placement in people in federal judge positions and everything.
Paxton. We should talk about that, but yeah, another one. The guy in fucking Texas.
It's absolutely fucking bananas, and it's we're still going through shit just because of somebody just wanted to just roll the dice. Oh, what could happen? Oh, whatever. I just like the way he thinks. He likes the way he talks. Blah 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 blah. No nonsense, dude. Whatever. Like, you can't have those people making long-lasting decisions that affect the future. And it's like, oh well, he's only going to be president for 4 years. Well,
No.
Supreme Court judges last fucking lifetimes. That's a lifetime appointment.
2/3, or at least 40% to 2/3 of this country, has stricter laws for health care, which is women's health and sometimes abortion, sometimes not. Meaning that it's harder in Alabama or Iowa to find an OBGYN. And if you're leaving medical school for being an OBGYN, odds are you're not staying in any of those fucking states. So it ends up affecting the entire country's overall health. Here we go. Here we are.
Shit. We're going to have to wrap this in a minute.
Yeah, let's
Sorry,
wrap it.
I'm having personal issues.
Let's wrap it right now. Real quick, rapid fire. Stitch, what you got popping this week?
Not
what's
much.
going on?
Just play some Call of Duty. Like I said, just got back from Louisiana, so brought the daughter on a plane for the first time. Wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be. Thankfully, tablets exist because I don't know how people flew on planes with toddlers before tablets. But everything was good. She had a great time. Got to see a lot of friends down in the South. Good time. And then obviously Spider-Man movie, going to try to knock out this weekend, and that's it pretty much.
All right, Kronos, what you got? Anything?
I gotta end it short.
Okay. Uh, real quick, next week I will talk about the incredibleness of One Piece 1062 with King of Hell, motherfucking my boy Zoro. But let's take it on out. Oh, we don't have Old Ninja.
Yeah, Ninja's not here.
Oh, you know where to find us.
Yeah, you know where to
Find
find
us
us
online.
Gotta go. Sorry, kind of short.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.